Well, now I'm recording on OBS, so that's funny.
Fuck!
Recap. Very short of the long. Continued investigation of Robert's killer led to you guys having the most crackpot idea of grease, illusions, and bugbears. That's about the best way that I could describe what happened there. And locked doors.
Yeah.
It almost worked.
You were close.
Well...
Are you sure about that?
The only thing that went wrong is I was missing a tiny little piece of metal. Inconsequential almost, really.
Yeah.
You forgot that
It was only a small
lock
detail.
their doors when they leave for the day.
Just a small detail.
Just a small detail. You had to backtrack on that plan. But with some thought process and some good rolls on your guys' end, you ended up getting into the apartment. Investigating around, you found quite a lot of stuff. And a lot of things that really hit Robert hard in the memories.
Yeah.
Yeah. And after setting a trap to lie in wait for this individual to come home, you realized that he wasn't alone, had come home with his husband, who it ended up being. And after some knives were held to throats, after some yelling and confusion and pointing fingers, Alimar had a full-on breakdown, which led to a lot of crying and a lot of open eyes to the real circumstances of Robert's death. And we will be picking up kind of at the same spot as we were, but in a much more calm environment. After some time of everything cooling down and emotions becoming a little tired, we will pick up with you guys still remaining in the apartment, but being welcomed at the table of Alimar and his husband for a conversation.
I do want to make pretty clear that the second that I can grab the sending stone, I've grabbed it and sent a message to Theodore letting him know that that he needs to stand down, and that he can come in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because Theodore's outside.
Yeah, no, Theodore's just on the roof, just playing with Emma.
Hello, I'm here.
Did I just come in through the front door or something?
Yeah, the door was actually unlocked for you this time.
Yeah, first thing is they were just hi, nice to meet you. By the way, I kind of tried to break into your house earlier because we were trying to figure out who you were, because we were really confused about everything. I'm sorry. And please don't send the police on me.
Oh god, the guards are probably still investigating, what was it, Indiana Jones and Short Round?
Oh, yeah, that one also.
Mm-hmm.
That one they're looking for a dog and not me, though.
Also a halfling, not me.
We're probably fine on that. Yeah.
Ashayla's covered her face with her hands resting her elbows on the tabletop.
There's a stunned silence, honestly, at a certain point. It's just that's not even something that's on their radar. Neither of them have that on their radar at the moment. But as you guys sit around the table with the limited seat space that they have here, and Dean just kind of leaned up in a corner. So you all sit at this table. Some just warmed up like stew is just kind of put in front of all of you, and there's a whole just bottle of wine or two that is just brought out and just placed on the tables for everybody to drink at their leisure.
There's how many people here? Like 6 or 7? We're gonna need at least 3 bottles.
Oh gosh.
But Alimar sits in the chair next to Robert, and he's still just kind of like, he's leaned forward, head in at least one hand, and like rubbing his eyes, rubbing the side of his face. Just suddenly he's exhausted. Like from a day from high stress to fear to a full emotional breakdown. One can only expect so much from the guy.
He has seen a ghost today.
Literally.
You know, yeah, he has seen a ghost today, literally. But as Jiraiya, or I'm sorry, done. As Jiraiya finishes bringing out everything, just he stands at the table, also leaned up against the wall, and he'll break the silence. Okay, so obviously there's been a very big misunderstanding that's happened here. So I'm not going to be totally upset. I don't think that I have the right to at this very moment in time. But I do have to ask the big, glaring question of all of you. What has happened here?
Okay, you guys aren't gonna let me speak first, are you?
Well, it's less of a question of how much do we want to say and how much can we say. And I'm just going to look at the others to kind of get their insight or input on that.
I just kind of gesture towards Alistair. I think they deserve to know at least a good chunk.
Yeah, seeing as that they were a little bit involved, yeah.
Just a bit.
Alimar kind of just looks at all of you, like bags under his eyes at this point, like eyes barely being kept open.
Robert, I believe this would be your story to tell.
Yeah, well, there's not a... I think you might have more pieces to it than I do at this point.
Do I?
But... Yes? Long of the short is... I'm back by some sort of something out of my control. And I don't remember a lot. Honestly, the only thing I remembered of you until just recently was that moment on the boat. However many years ago.
There's like an involuntary like twitch in like the face and eye, you know, like when the muscles just kind of a nerve shoots off because it's just of exhaustion.
Mm-hmm.
That's a horrible memory to keep with you.
Yeah. Looking back on it, I wish I kept the others first.
In Robert's defense, most of what we all remember is our deaths, and that's about it. There's no context, nothing surrounding it. We're almost walking blank slates. Just, there's something underneath. That makes sense.
Jorah, like both of his eyebrows are raised and like kind of a like half, not even half, like a quarter of a frown. So, Paul, formerly dead. Or shall
Four
I
of
say,
us.
to lighten the mood, formerly living impaired?
No, I was definitely dead.
Call a spade a spade. Unless you don't wish to call it that, and then call it something else, I suppose. We'll know what you mean.
I'm not good at jokes. Anyways.
A valiant effort.
Well, not unheard of for people to come back from the dead. But for all of you to come back and under, I'm assuming, the same circumstances, that's more bizarre.
Listen, I won't... Oh, sorry.
No, you're quite alright. It's just I won't gloss over the fact that you had said that there are things you can't. I won't say that I'm not intrigued, but I'm also not going to say that I'm not concerned either. That there's things that you can't say.
Yeah, it's... To be frank, it's extremely complicated. And us four who died in different eras, or, well, not eras, but different times, all ended up in 4 graves next to each other in the same graveyard. I'm not going to disclose where it is. We don't know who's listening. We don't know a lot. We do know that we do know that we can't stay places for long. And we're trying to figure it out. And our memories are the first thing we can grasp to.
As, like, you say the words, you can't stay in places for long, like Alimar kind of, like, looks up at you and, like, eyes kind of, like, dart around the table a little bit. Doesn't say anything, but it is pretty obvious, and Jorah clocks that and, like, puts a hand on his forearm. Even more concerned to hear that you're being watched. From what I can tell, you're not undead. You're not under some sort of enchanted control or something. I feel like I would have noticed by now.
I mean, watch this, and I do, I channel divinity to, do divine sense divine sense for that. And she's like, I can tell you pretty easily. We're not undead, we're something else.
Okay, sure. I believe you enough. I just, I find this all incredibly odd. I really do.
Well, you're not the
Join
only
the
one.
party?
No, they've got too many responsibilities here.
No, I don't mean join us. I mean join the party, and wow, this is fucking weird.
Yeah,
Like-
you're not the only one who finds this weird.
Yeah.
We're still figuring that out ourselves.
I find this
figured.
whole thing incredibly weird myself.
So, your plan. Gain back your memories, and each of you, and what, figure out who or what brought you back to life, or
Pretty much.
Mostly. I would like to find out who killed me. I have a
Same.
bone to pick. Multiple, really.
Be careful what you wish for.
I know.
Interesting little quest you all find yourself on.
We
And-
know.
One that, honestly, for Alimar's sake more than my own, I wish I could help you. But this feels very personal.
That we
Listen.
don't want to involve you and put you in danger. But we appreciate that offer. Like, I'm glad that you would consider that.
Very kind.
Alimar speaks up when he's at your sentence, Velen. He says, "Danger? I mean, what do you mean danger? I mean, you're searching for the people who killed you, but that sounded more..." And just kind of looks at Robert. It sounded like more.
And... Well, I'll let you answer, Robert.
I think that's the part that we can't talk about.
Like Theodore said, we have eyes on us. We're not sure how that works. We're not sure how safe that is.
What we do know is... Listen, if you want to help us, point is, you never saw us. Truly. Like, if anyone ever asks, no. Never saw us. It's... Listen, I'll be frank. What's watching us isn't gonna come knocking on your door. It isn't going to be raising your city. It isn't going to be hopefully interacting with you for a long, long time.
Or ever, hopefully.
Yeah.
Jorah pinches the bridge of his nose.
The point is that we're not being... Well, okay, no, we are being actively hunted by one guy, but that's because we kind of pissed him off. He kind of deserved
he was
it.
a good guy.
Do you know what? I'd almost forgotten about him.
Yeah, Maxwell, yeah, he's kind of a shitbag.
Yeah, that was a dick. Like, he would have just hunted us down regardless of circumstances. Just don't interact with that man.
Wait.
Yeah.
Wait. You pissed off somebody named Maxwell. Now, there's only one Maxwell that I know of who has power.
Yeah, it's him, probably.
Moldeport? Yep.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Perhaps someone should investigate his business practices.
I don't want to know. But besides that fact, Moldeport is not part of the colonies at large. It's its own independent state. We have no power there, unless we were to commit a coup. So, whatever business you say that he is doing, quite frankly, we couldn't do anything about it without causing some fairly large problems, where a lot of people will be very upset.
Oh yeah, no. It's like the scale this is on is like a bounty hunter. Maybe. We don't even know if Maxwell sent them, we're just being careful.
No, we know with relative certainty.
I'm trying to be nice.
Look, telling me that you are criminals of another city-state is vicariously not the best thing to do, but also the most honest thing that you could do. So, for your sake, and for Alimar's, I'm going to pretend like I haven't heard any of this.
Wonderful.
Thank you kindly.
Mm-hmm. Alimar, looking to Robert. Oh, what? You're just going. You're just going to leave, put yourself in danger, and be hunted by some man.
Yeah. We don't have to go now, of course. I'll stay around, but at some point, there are still some things I need to take care of, and some people I need to take care of.
Okay.
Like take care of these guys, not like take care of, you know. Like
yeah. We're like to clarify even further, because I know we're weird. We're not like actively trying to search people to like kill. We're just looking for like answers. Like
Jorah
yeah.
puts up his hand. I understand. I think we can understand where you are coming from and what you are saying, both of us. And he's looking to Alimar. You have some tough decisions to make. You have a tough rehabilitation to undergo. And I understand as well as I can. As somebody who has done a lot of hard decision making in his life, I understand. And I will not cast judgment upon you. For I would be living in the glass castle as it was and throwing stones out from it, if I did. But I will say one thing. Do not put him through, and points to Alimar, anything like what has happened again. No matter what throughout your journey, you do not repeat what has happened here. And you, and points to Robert, you do not die.
Just silently nod.
We'll make sure he doesn't.
To the best of our ability.
Jorah takes a big breath, kind of like pursing his lips, and like you see his nostrils flare all wide. Good.
He says, I think my dragon likes him, and she'll destroy whoever tries to hurt him, so.
Does give me some solace to see a dragon knight out and around. We haven't seen one in quite some time, I'd say. But it's always nice to know that you all are still around, even if you have just been revived.
You know what? It's very strange having no memories. Because these people keep saying that, and I don't know really what I'm doing.
I'm sure it'll all come back to you one way or another. Like muscle memory.
I hope.
Jorah kind of gives a smirk. I have confidence. And with your guys' passive insights, he may or may not have real confidence. But he's...
Do I know?
With passive insight, what's your passive insight?
Oh, actually, it's not as good as I thought. 14.
Yeah, nah, you guys are kind of in a middle ground, but either way, even if he does mean it or he doesn't, he's still saying it, and it is believable enough to Alimar, who obviously just needs to hear certain things right now. And he is mostly addressing Robert throughout all this, but he says, it may be very selfish of me to ask, but I need you to do two things for me. I need you to not put me through you being gone again. And at least once in a while, maybe once a season, come back here and just let me know that you're okay. And when this is all said and done, I want to spend time with you.
Of course, my friend.
See his eyes start to well up a little bit. Okay.
I'm gonna go rooting through my pockets for a handkerchief and hand one over.
I'm gonna... Oh, sorry.
No, he takes it from you, Michelle.
I'm gonna sidle up to Dean. Hey, you think your brother would mind if I hand these off? And I hold up the sending stone.
No. And even if he does, I'll talk to him.
Cool. I go over to Shale. And, get the sending stone. Hey, can I have that sending stone real quick?
Of course. I'll pass it over.
Grab him, and I hand one to Robert and one to his buddy, to his friend, to his good old pal.
His bestie.
Now hold on. I'm right here. No, but listen. It's not much, but I mean, hell, I'm sure 25 words every now and then is a lot better than what you're going on.
That's more than I've heard in 30 years, so yes. This is much better. Thank you. And he grabs your forearm, Theodore, and like gives it just a gentle squeeze.
Theodore kind of gives a soft nod back.
I'm very, very glad that Robert has been surrounded by people who seem to not only have a moral compass, but a heart. Thank you.
We try our best.
I know that we've already gone through a lot tonight. Actually. But I'd rather get it all out of the way now. Robert, what is it that you need to know from me?
It's a very good question. Let me check my notes. Ba-bam-bam. There's a lot that I do not remember. I remember us. I remember our friendship, but I don't exactly remember what we did together or the kind of person I was before. I also remember being sick, and I remember what I asked you to do, but I don't have any context for that either.
Well then, let me start from the beginning, and we'll go from there. We had met in Arkingarten several decades ago now. I was a bright-eyed inventor who wanted to test his skills in a place that harbored those ideals, and provide the means and the materials so long as I did my part. A cog in the machine, as it was. And you had apparently thought the same. You described to me how you wanted something different. And from where you were from, they didn't quite have what you were looking for. We had met, we became fast friends, as it seemed. Because as you had put it to me once, I was the only one who laughed at your jokes. You told me your hopes, your dreams for what you were doing in Arkingarten, and told me where you were from. You had come from the Feywild. As far as why you left, you always left it at, they just didn't have what you needed, it just didn't have what you wanted. wasn't the place to see your passion flourish. For your tinkering, for your inventing, for your crazy ideas. And you showed yourself to be quite the fantastic tinkerer, with plenty of crazy ideas for how clockwork machines could be made, for how golems could be made differently, how all sorts of things that could be created could be done differently. The saying, if it isn't broke, don't fix it, never applied to you. It was always, if it isn't broke, how can we make sure that it doesn't break, and how can we make sure that it's better? Or even if that wasn't on your radar, it was, how could we make this just fun? More enjoyable thing to smile about. And I attached myself to that part of you. Because I noticed, because of you, how locked in, mundane I was, truthfully. That I was just in routine and repetition. Day in, day out, same thing over and over and over again. Just to get better? Get better at what I was doing, but not to enjoy it. It was just to always succeed and be better. You added that twist. Always added that little twist. It was refreshing. As far as what you did, I mean, you were an official tinkerer, same as myself at the time. Official tinkerer, official mechanic, whatever name you wish to call us. But the automatons that walked around that city and still do, still do to this day, we repaired, we maintained. And we worked on special projects and research and experiments that was asked of us by the hierarchy of Arkengarten. Until one day, you took a job. And you came back changed. You were off. It was minor for a time, but it quickly changed. Your demeanor, your luster, it was all becoming dark. And when you started to show signs of physical illness, I took it upon myself to try and figure it out. After the doctors and herbalists, everybody that that you went to and that I went with you to, could not figure out what was wrong. I am a holy person. I am cleric. And I had tried my hand at what healing magic I could, and it just wasn't enough. Never was. And at the end of it all, that's what hurt the most. Is that I had this power at my fingertips, and somehow it wasn't enough to fix whatever was wrong with you. Which told me that, at least in my opinion, it wasn't natural. It wasn't a natural illness. But I still treated it like that. As if it was something natural to just be medicated away or magicked away. Never happened. And then when you started telling me that you were hearing whispers, as it was, but I wasn't sure if you meant that literally or metaphorically, or if your emotions were changing, I'm not sure. But when you told me that you started to feel a compulsion a compulsion that you couldn't identify, but it was digging at you. That's truthfully where I started to go downhill with you. And at a certain point, you had asked me to take you out fishing, and I thought that maybe you were starting to feel better, but when you asked to do it at night, I was a bit more concerned, but I didn't want to disappoint you, so I took you out onto that boat. And he reaches over to Jorah's hand and just like squeezes. And from there, I think you know the rest.
Yeah.
Dean takes a step forward. Look. Kinda like taps his forearm. You don't have to say everything right now, buddy, but before these people have to go on their ways, is there anything that stands out that's important to you? Anything that you think might give them a lead on anything? I'm not a part of this, I'm just a guy. But I'd like to see them at least get a little bit closer to peace. So anything at all that launches out at you, even if you think that's stupid. Anything. Alimar takes a breath. I don't know. Your illness started in Arginstead. Maybe you start there. That's all that I know, that's all that I have, and I don't even know what happened in Arginstead afterwards, because that night I didn't go back. I just rode my way over here. It started different. Just didn't know what to do. So I can't speak on anything else. Better than nothing, buddy. No, it's not easy to talk about the things that haunt us. So sorry for holding a knife to your throat. But, you know. Alimar just nods. I don't necessarily blame you. That's all that I can think of.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Put a hand on his shoulder.
He puts his hand over yours on his own shoulder. He just like rubs it.
I'm going to very casually and quietly like pull the book out, and I'm not trying to draw attention to it. I just want to like leave it on the table, or leave it on the bench beside me or seat beside me where they'll find it later.
Okay, sounds good. All right, let's put it down.
Book?
The book that he dropped. He dropped the romance novel or whatever while he was when he
The
fled.
shitty romance novels that he likes.
We know his tastes now.
Jorah's speaking up. You don't have a place to stay. You may stay the night here. We don't have a guest bedroom, but we do have chairs and a hammock in the study. I'm sure that we can put out some soft bedding for you if you so wish for the floor. But otherwise I can't really offer much else. I may be a leader, but we don't necessarily live in full lavish and luxury.
I can respect that
And also appreciate the offer.
very much.
You're welcome.
We've slept on the floor before anyway.
This won't be the first time. Won't be the last.
So, from here, where do you plan to go? This is Jorah asking you, by the way.
Well, where the fuck did we come from? Stillshore? Did we come from
Yes.
Stillshore?
We're
Okay.
going back to Stillshore.
We left someone important behind.
Understandable. I
No,
can't.
we need to go back to Stillshore, and then it's From there, we're not exactly certain. We have a few places.
All right. Well, whenever you leave, just make sure to say goodbye and like nods towards Alimar. And as long as you don't bring trouble to our doorsteps, you're more than welcome here. Just don't come breaking into our house again.
We won't.
Yeah. We'll be a lot better about that next time.
Thanks.
Sorry about that.
Worse things have happened. You're fine.
It's not like we broke anything.
Thankfully. But honestly, I'm not too worried about that right now. Just, yeah. No. Personally, I'm thinking, as nice a company as you all have been thus far, I'm taking this full glass of wine upstairs, and I'm going to read my books.
Fair enough.
Alimar, sweetheart, you don't have to come up yet. You can stay and talk as you want. I don't care. Just, goes over and just kisses him on the top of his head and raises the glass to you all and says, well, good night, wherever you end up sleeping.
I'll return the gesture with my own glass. Good night.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so yeah, what are you guys doing as far as moving on with your time and I guess your time in Arginstead? We can kind of just conglomerate it all together if there's nothing hyper specific you guys want to do.
Definitely let Robert and Alimar hang out and catch up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Regale with some stories of my adventures, but try to make it where I don't sound too much in danger all the time.
So then let me ask, because so far you guys have been in Arginstead for, the 24 hours. How long would you like to stay here?
How long did Dean mention how long he planned on staying here?
No more than a week.
Okay.
How long were we on the road? What's the timing like right now?
About 3 days.
Yeah.
So we've been gone 3 days?
Yeah.
We've been going.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we can afford to stay another, 3-ish or 2-ish days?
Theodore's down to stay a couple days, but he doesn't want to keep Innra waiting.
Well, and Dean's got kids. Dean's got kids that are currently being watched by the oldest children in the family.
Yeah.
That sounds like a recipe for the windmill to burn down to me. What do I know?
The place
I'm an
is
only
already
child.
on fire.
Oh, fuck.
They are dancing
also,
around
worst
it.
comes to worst, when we have to leave, Robert can stay a little bit longer and we can take the dragon back.
Oh, that's true. Well, some of us.
Yeah.
But, it's more along the lines of, Theodore feels bad. Okay, he feels bad. He still feels really bad, and he wants to explain things to Innra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta make sure our boy's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, for everybody's sake at the table, we do have access. We could pull a string and maybe get into a library where Michelle always likes libraries. Val can learn about dragons. Theodore can learn how to read and also about his religion and stuff.
Yo.
Reading lessons with Theodore.
Oh, thank God, it's pop-up books.
I like the ones that move.
One pops up and is scary and he smites the book.
Oh no. It's like a 1,000-year-old book that's priceless.
It's like some fucking shit-ass kid fucking put, those paper, spring butterflies in it, so when you open up the page, they, jump out and, float around. You ever seen those?
Nice!
Yeah.
Or that
The
happens
books attacked me.
Yeah, the book's attacked. Oh god, if that happened to Val, she could potentially use Hellish Rebuke on a book. It's awful.
Yeah, how many days do you guys plan on staying here, I guess, is the question.
fine with like 2 or 3.
Yep, I think that's fine.
But like, wouldn't mind going back earlier.
So 2?
Yeah, 3.
That's fair.
Sure.
Or 3.
Like, Theodore's not gonna put a horse in the race because,
Fair.
you know, Robert just got back in touch with
Yeah.
friend that we thought was this killer, but also, you know, wasn't a bastard.
Mm-hmm. So if you guys stay 3 days, it will be just a day over a week, like day and a half over a week, so 8.5 days ish. You know, when you guys get back. Over the 3 days, Robert, I'm assuming you're just trying to, you know, like you'd said, connect back with Alimar and share stories and just, you know, reconnect.
Yeah, I like have a few questions, but you can do that later or first or whatever.
Okay, we'll do that last. I'll just go down the line. What does a shale want to do, I guess, in this waiting period?
I mean, there's a library, there's the Mages College.
Yeah.
Which, like, that sounds very interesting to me, obviously, as a fucking wizard. Yeah, so I think that would probably be my one thing that I really want to go see.
Sure. Here, you know, I'll put you guys on the big board of Arginstead for a moment. So, alright, so you want to go to the school, and obviously, yeah, you could ask permission, you could pull a string or two. Especially, you know, of a wizard who just kind of wants to peruse and exist around. We'll get into details of that. Theodore, what about you?
Kind of two things. First, Alimar's husband seems pretty knowing of goings on in kind of the area, as in like this, you know, continent, and wants to see if he knows anything about, like, because so far what he's gotten about the guides are they protect a path and they walk a lot. And that's about it.
Okay.
And that they might not be the most liked people.
Right. Okay. So we'll get to that as well. Val?
What we want to do for today?
Just over these 3 days, I guess. I'm trying to see if we can, like, clump together a few or not, or just have you guys do all of your own separate stuff.
I want to go to the shops at one point.
Sure, yeah.
Otherwise, tag along.
Alright.
Someone.
Okay. So, we'll start with a shale here going to the school.
Oh boy.
You'll be allowed in, and the school. Let me scoot the camera on over here. So the school is fairly large. It's in this little horseshoe shape. You are shown around by Jorah. This is just pretty much like a courtesy, you know. All right, well, hey, fellow mage to a fellow mage. Take a look around. Here's like the student library and what they have available to them. These are like the classrooms. The classrooms seem to be like repurposed just for every class coming in and out. And he actually gives you the skinny on what the school is like, and you know, the whole deal of you know, run by the mages that basically run Arginstead and has for years. The tower that is nearby, like just off to the I threw my camera around. That's just like off to the left here. Was one of the buildings that had been here when colonists came over across like the Mirror Basin and settled here, along with the large temple. Like these buildings were just here.
Okay, I want to go explore those. I will make a note of that.
Sure. Yeah. some of it will be like open to you, some of it definitely not. Like, it offers some sort of like historical value as well that they mention of just, this was here, etc., 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 was rebuilt. And as far as like the purposes that it stands for and did stand for, one of the most powerful mages that did come from outside the region and settled in Arginstead claimed that tower as like his. It was just his tower. It was the classic Wizard's Tower scenario. Even in its disheveled state, that was his. And many people believed in him, trusted in him as a leader because of the abilities that he wielded. And he had quite the following, and he turned out to be not a shit wizard to, abuse the power entirely. Still a wizard after power, but not as bad as it could have been. And ended up being the one who would teach people secrets of the arcane and etc. And eventually Arginstead grew and grew and became home to a lot of mages, a lot of arcane inclined individuals, a lot of bardic individuals too, who came here to learn of the arcane, pops in and out of here. And eventually they decided, you know what, if we have so many people that are learning, we might as well make a school for the future generations. So they spent a lot of money in it, and this is what they have made. It also doubles as the Capitol building for, the entire city. Students come from every which direction now to be a part of this. Most of the students live in the school. But some of the older students do just have like their own apartments that they either have together or on their own or what have you. Though living space is a little cramped here in the city. A lot of the biggest portions of the population do exist in the outskirts and in the little hamlets outside.
Yeah, gotcha.
But as far as books in here, what are you looking for, if anything specifically?
Oh God, recent history probably. I want to see if I can learn more about what's happened, like specifically. Okay, you know what? I had dates on the flag that I got in my memory box. So I looked at it, and the dates. I was going to look for histories regarding any kind of like wars or skirmishes that may have occurred between 1328 and 1330.
Okay.
And then anything that might have happened in 1339.
I see. Okay. Investigation check.
Ooh, fun. Is that the first roll of today?
Yep. It's been all roleplay for the past hour 15.
23.
Nice. Okay, 23. So, as far as recent history books, specifically about like combats, things that have happened in the region, the only thing that you're going to find is, well, actually, you're going to find two things. One that continues the chronicles of like the skirmishes that still do occur between fairy folk and colonists. It's more of like an informational, research of like, just letting everybody know issues still happen. It's just apparently not spread around enough. And of course, it is pretty much written off as the, it's more individualistic in its issue than a cause for political concern.
Yeah,
which is true. I mean, even it's been well documented in many places that even villages within the colonies fucking try to kill each other. Like it's just crazy, man. So
unfortunate.
So it's not unheard of, but it's still supposed to be a thing of like these things still happen. Don't think that it's just because the War of the Keepers is over means that all conflict is over. But you will find instead with a 23, you find a memoir. In the vein of this falls under like the history section, the political history section. It is a memoir of somebody within the Harkenstrom Guides.
Oh fuck. Okay.
Author's name I must find is Desiree Ovin. Spelled Ovin at the end, so not oven, but Ovin.
Okay, thank you, because I definitely did have a stutter start of, wait, oven?
Yeah, nah, it's supposed to be Ovin. I guess a better way to spell would be Ouvin. Would probably be better.
Okay.
So this individual describes, their experience with the Harkenstrom Guides in relatively recent history. But we'll call it maybe about 20-ish years ago. Of how traveling through the fairy forest along the pathway, as it was called, just nonchalantly throughout this little memoir, was always hell. As much as this pathway was supposed to be like a... How can I put this? As much as this pathway was supposed to be part of the initial peace treaty between the colonies and the fairy folk after the War of the Keepers, it still was not a safe place to be, because you can't control people. No. And you can't control beasts, you can't control monsters, you can't control the energies that be. So it gives the accounting of, basically the quick catch up of why this is even necessary. Why was this path necessary? Well, during the War of the Keepers, when the fairy folk took a colonist city, in what is now Thaumarin, at the end of the war, they closed the doors for good, saying that no travelers from outside the region nor colonists will be allowed inside, sending it as a message, basically, of, you are not welcome within things that we claim to be ours, and it would only be by the grace of us are you allowed to be. And it's also served as much of a warning as it was just a statement of, everlasting distrust.
Enmity?
Yeah, we'll call it distrust more than anything. But they did allow a pathway to be made. So it was scouted out as a hike through the fairy forest, where they were told that you can walk through here, you can rest here throughout the days, but you will not settle here. People can come through this way, and it's arduous, and it's not a welcoming place, but you're welcome to try. So it was a kind of little bit of a tap on the ass of we'll make peace, but we're sending a lot of messages to you. And it was begrudgingly accepted, but it was all in the name of peace. So realizing that the pathway was not necessarily a welcome place, well, they needed guides. They needed people to protect those who wanted to travel to and fro. Seeing as Thaumarin was not allowed. And so the guides, as well as other scouts, rangers, etc., were placed in Houndspell and at East Branch Fort to be, the escorts, the bodyguards. And that's that. They talked about in this memoir as well, how fairy folk who still hate them, or fairy folk who are just, described as nothing more than as lowly a bandit as any colonist bandit could be, also just riddled the pathway because they knew that people traveled through, and it was just opportunity. So it was a mix between the people that they had come across either had extreme enmity, or it was just banditry and robbery and thievery, shit like that. that would occur.
Mhm.
They will describe that there was a recurrence with those who... It was a recurrence for those that did seemingly have more enmity than thievery in mind. Many a times they had a particular symbol that they would have around. And lo and behold, it's a little pitchfork sign.
Like the
yeah,
chicken foot style?
The chicken foot style, yeah. But the Desiree does not seem to know what it means in this memoir at all. Just describing that this was like their symbol and they must belong to some group, and this group is pretty much just you know, they're just there to harm people. Seemingly. It might be a very biased view, but honestly, given what you know and whatnot, well.
No, Ashale agrees.
Yeah.
To the best of her knowledge, that is exactly correct.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's what's come across, I'd say, throughout this memoir, as you know, you spend the time to just fucking gnome kill you.
ATP gnomes strike again.
Mm-hmm.
The damn gnomes.
No, wait, we're on the coast of jet ski again.
Somebody launched the torpedoes. But that's what you find out from this memoir. Nothing more than that, I'd say.
Okay. Well, not necessarily exactly what I was hoping to find, but I do think that answers some of it. Were any of the names on the back of that... Sorry, I'm messing with stuff. Were any of the names on the back of that flag mentioned in that book?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
Yeah, I think that's about all I can look for right now, but... if I can pick up any further, like, spells, like, if I can just sit in the back of one of those, like, Magic 201 classes or whatever and just, like, casually pick up a spell.
Incredible. Okay. What school? What school of magic?
Oh, fuck. Okay. Hold on. Oh, shit. I need to look. I don't have all of the schools memorized off the top of my head. I gotta look.
Yeah. Off the top of my head,
need to...
enchantment, abjuration, divination, evocation, illusion.
And also, what schools is a Shale interested in too?
Evocation is a lot of the big kablooey ones.
That's true. Yeah. Mana spells. Okay, what spells was I interested in? What spells? I don't know that I'm gonna be able to find them in time. So, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say, I'll go with evocation.
Rad. Okay. Then what? You'll be allowed to, like, it's just like all ages accepted in this joint. For you to chill out and what have you. So, let me pull up. Let's see what looks fun. What seems like a good time? There's not a lot in this vicinity that I thought would have been fun, but
if not that, I can always give you something else. And also, if this is taking up too much time, I can give you a school later on, and you can just tell me what I gained.
Yeah, give it to me later on. We'll figure that out. So we'll move over to Theodore. Theodore, you wanted to ask Jorah about, modern day bullshit. Political happenings and stuff.
Pretty much, just like get a grasp on things.
Yeah, anything specific or just like a general overall?
Starting with the guides.
Guides.
Starting there and kind of blossoming out, like, hey, so, you know how we lost, we talked about the whole memory thing. So I know that I'm from a group called the Guides. Like, I was affiliated with them. I don't really know what they're about due to my memory loss.
Right.
And B, don't know much about most of the political happenings of what's happened almost ever, if that's okay.
Sure, yeah. Well, guides are not beholden to Arginstead. That's the king over in Harkenstrom. That's his deal. So obviously you'd get far more information from him, but I don't think you have connections over there. So best that I can tell you is that we sometimes send our rangers and what have you to Houndspell if they require them. If they find there need to be a break for too many soldier and they need a little bit of bolstering, we'll gladly send a few people over, mostly volunteers who want a little bit of extra pay. From what I know of the guides, well, a lot of them, oh boy.
Don't sugarcoat it. I need to know.
A lot of them began as veterans of the War of the Keepers. I would know. I was one. Not a guide, but a veteran. And as a reminder, this guy's an elf, so he's been around a bit. So, when everything ended and there was a need to, for combative individuals, well, a lot of the fellas and gals and everybody in between, they wanted to go over there. Because, there was still a lot of anger, there was still some harbored issues, and, well, that really did show in their behavior early on. I remember that, and I remember hearing a lot of not okay things. And, it continued that way for a while. Until eventually, those guys either died or got too old or got tired of their grievances and decided to move on. But with that came people with more grievances, fresher grievances, and well, also just people who needed money for the most part. At least that's what I'd heard. So that's kind of what the new blood is, but that new blood is also going to be going away probably very soon. There's either going to be very few or the pathway is going to be abandoned altogether. There's not really a need for them anymore. There's not really a need for the guides. Not many people are taking the pathway, at least in nearly a year. Nearly, I say. Pretty close. We're getting to that year point. Because Thalmarin opened their gates. Now,
I mean, that sounds like a good thing.
Yeah, it is. It is, but the circumstances were tenuous. There was a pretty hefty attack and a pretty hefty amount of skirmishes that reached our ears over here. Big attack happened at Houndspell about a year ago now. Actually, maybe a little bit over a year ago now. And a lot of guides and a lot of people and a lot of travelers were killed. A lot of them. And we here in the colonies took that as a direct threat. So we reached out to Thalmarin, saying, you're the closest bit of communication that we have. What has happened here? And, well, they said that it wasn't their fault, and that, they can't control everybody. They are not the seat of power of the fairy forest, of the fairy folk. It's just people can get angry, and people may have some big ideas, but it's nothing that they could control, to which several here in the Majocracy and several other leaderships of Harkenstrom said that was an unacceptable answer. So to keep the peace, those of Thalmarin said, well, as a sign of good faith, we will open our gates. We do not want problems. And so that's what's happened. And ever since, there have been skirmishes and there have been issues, and of course there have been plenty of issues along the pathway still, but there's been no bigger attack, which has led many here in the Majocracy and Arkinstrom and everywhere else that had some representation at that summit, to not fully believe Thalmarin that there wasn't some sort of push. I can't tell you for the life of me. Not that. But it did lead a lot of people in political power, civilian alike, to have questions. But
okay.
As of now, with Thalmarin opening its gates, the guides are pretty much null and void. Nobody wants to go down the pathway that's basically a 50-50 death trap. So
yeah, you said an attack on Hound spell.
Yeah.
If I'm being perfectly honest with you, that might be where I died. The first time.
He's looking at you with a look. You know,
I'm not certain. I'm not entirely certain. I'd have to, I guess, go see it myself, really. There's a memory. I was killed by a man in this almost crimson red armor. Yeah.
Crimson red.
Yeah.
Flaming sword?
Yeah.
Theodore, here's your name, right?
Theodore Sharp.
If there's ever a doubt that you didn't have your memories, those are all gone now. Being a guide, I would have assumed you would have known, or you would have had some recollection of a horseman. One of the horsemen.
Theodore just kind of points to his head. Listen, it's all fucked.
I can tell. The horsemen were some of the most feared individuals during the War of the Keepers. They were. I definitely feared. There were only 3. There's Red Sun. Red Sun, who I think is who you're referring to. Black Knight. And Bright Dawn. All that they were called, that's all that they were ever known as. Their allegiance to whichever group that fought was at least unknown to us. But boy, did we know that they were there. So that concerns me on several levels. Because I had heard of Red Dawn, or I'm sorry, of Red Sun being there at that battle, but a lot of individuals claim that to just be hysterics. But you claiming to have been killed by that horseman was
And now here's the sticky part. We can't go telling people about it. Otherwise, people know where I am and that I'm alive. Because I get the feeling that if that guy killed me, there may have been people who wanted me dead. Like, either that or happenstance on the battlefield. I don't want to take my chances, though.
I wouldn't want to take my chances either, if I was you. So don't.
Okay. Another question. And Theodore grabs the wicker necklace. Do you know if this has any connection to Red Sun? This symbol? I don't know much about the symbol. What I do know is it strikes fear. I can tell you that much.
A lot of us
I couldn't tell you its name.
Oh no, I can tell you. A lot of us mages know the symbol of Baba Yaga. He was a powerful mage at one point. However many hundreds of years ago, thousands of years ago, hundreds of thousands, who the fuck knows? But she turned into what she was, or who she is, what she is today, and is the birth of all hags. a lot of us mages would recognize that anywhere. Could I tell you any history about her? No, that's not my repertoire. I've never studied into the beings of, well, the Feywild like that. And hags weren't necessarily on my full list either.
Yeah. I guess it's less that I need to know, and more, what does it mean when I am encountered by a man wearing this?
Well, it means that somebody who works for her or is a part of her coven is either somewhere nearby or you're caught into the middle of their machinations. Either one or the other.
Okay. Fair.
I'm not gonna ask or dig too deep. That's definitely bringing too much trouble to my doorstep, and points at the wicker necklace you're holding.
Yeah. Well, it's good to know what it is at least.
Well, there you have it.
I guess, and this one is a long shot. I won't really hold anything against you if you don't know, but
Theodore pulls out the wanted poster.
I'm looking for a man. I'm pretty sure he's my brother. And I don't know. I don't know if the name Waylon Sharp means anything anywhere, or if even you've seen the fucker. But
Not to me, but I've certainly never seen him. I've certainly never heard anything about him. I mean, if you are searching for him, I can have some of the students do an extra credit project where they just copy your wanted poster and put them around the city. If he comes around, we'll find them.
honestly, better that it's probably for the best that it's just me looking for him.
By all means, then.
I don't know. I guess I'm a little paranoid with everything going on.
I don't blame you. Paranoia is what kept me alive this long.
That's fair. Yeah, I'll leave you to it. I don't really have anything else I can think of. It's really pressing.
Sounds good, Theodore. And good luck,
Yeah.
and stay safe.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And I appreciate your extreme hospitality. I can't say I would have been as kind to you.
Don't thank
Where our
me.
roles switched.
Thank Alimar.
Fair enough. Well, have a good day.
You too, Theodore. You too.
At that point, I think Theodore is just gonna go look for an odd job to do for the next couple days to keep his mind off stuff.
Sure, easy too cheesy. We'll put you down at the docks, just picking things up and putting them down.
Sweet.
We'll give you 5 silver a day, so you'll get 1 whole gold at the end of it. But make sure to mark it as 10
Yippee.
silver.
Okay, doing that now.
Cool. And Val, we'll jump to you. We'll leave the stuff for Robert for last here. So checking stores. What stores do you want to check?
Any like armories or just general adventure supply
Oh
stores,
yeah. Oh yeah. There's plenty of that.
knickknacks.
Yeah, there's plenty of just like adventuring joints, and of course, absolutely an armor smith, weaponsmith, blacksmith in general. There's
A
antiques.
little pet store for Hema.
Pet store? Yeah, that's fun. Yeah, you'll find any variety of that stuff. I will just say, just to make life easy for myself, is there anything specifically that you were looking for in these shops, like a specific item?
Any special arrows?
I mean, they would be.
Enhanced armor.
How much money you got? I mean,
Not that much, to be honest.
Yeah, Yeah, give me the gold number, and I'll tell you if any of that will actually be able to pay for anything.
12.
12? Nah, not a chance.
Figured as much.
Yeah, you guys are need to be a little bit more liquid than you currently are to
No.
get fancy dancy stuff.
Poor. Liquid.
Liquid.
We are so poor.
So poor.
Literally, we are existing through the kindness of others.
True. I guess then I'll just look around. Window shop with the dragon.
You know, I'll say for Hema, you can get her like a nice big like thigh bone or something real cheap.
Yeah, she deserves it.
Like 2 copper.
Perfect.
Yeah, she's gonna have a nice big leg. Like a cow thigh bone that comes from the fucking pet store.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's all she needs.
Cruising around like window shopping and what have you, you know, just for like the people watching's sake, you know, you pass by people of all varieties, shapes and sizes. Anybody that you can imagine that would be in a D&D setting, they're here. Arginstead is a pretty big hub. And to imagine that places get even bigger and even more hubbier is kind of insane to Val. You will see that there are people, you know, prepping a little bit early for the harvest, because everywhere here, harvest festivals, just like across the world, it's a pretty, you know, big deal to have a harvest festival of some kind. It's, you know, everybody's collecting their bounties from the summer, getting ready to, you know, have one last hurrah before the harsh winters come through. It's nice seeing, you know, the early preparation, a little bit of like early merriment, I guess we'll put it as merriment. And just think of it like classic, you know, people decorating for fall and not really getting ready for Halloween, we'll say, but, you know, just some fall decorations are starting to be put out. And like there's even people who are selling like warm cider on the streets as well, because it is brisk. You guys are literally like in the middle. You're in the middle of fall right now. So
Get me some cider.
Yeah, 1 copper. It's cheap. And you can see like a lot of the students are also, you know, in their off time, they're meandering around, they're enjoying their time. It's nice. So unless you have anything else, I'm just gonna go over to Robert.
Yeah, go for it.
Cool. All right, Robert. Anything in particular they want to be discussing with Alimar, or if not, how would you like to have your catching up in your recollections with Alimar to go? What would you like to do with him if you have nothing specific?
I mean, I do have a couple specific things, but I can also answer that, I guess. First, I wanted to check out the silver pocket watch with him.
Okay.
Because I have mine, and then I have a smashed up one that I will return and say sorry.
And he will understand. So what do you want to look at it for? Like just for comparison's sake, or?
I don't exactly know what it is. I don't think. Yeah, I have nothing on this pocket watch. I just know that he also has it.
Okay. So I know that Aiden kind of gave you like a little bit of a skinny that is basically like an identifier of like a tinkerer, a mechanic of Arkengarten, and that's basically what Alimar tells back to you. But he will mention, you know, it was just basically like the badge. The sound told anybody who listened, you know, that this was yours and that it belonged to you. It's like looking at a number that's assigned to you, except instead of a number, it's a sound.
Huh.
After everything happened, I smashed mine. I wanted nothing else to do with it, but I just couldn't part with it. Because as much as it held painful memories, it also still held memories of good time, of times that I wish to hold on to. But every time I would hold it, it just felt wrong. So I just smashed it and kept it in that drawer. Not knowing what to do with it.
It's very understandable. I'm not gonna lay out all my items on him like I did everybody else. But I did want to check out the metal box that was the soul of that one robot.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you pull this out in front of Alimar, and he looks at it, shocked. He says, "Where'd you get this?"
You remember all those stories I told you about, like our adventures?
Yes.
This was the robot that we took the ice boat to.
Oh, you have a memory core.
Oh, is that what that is?
You, as much as, and this is going to be DM to player here for a second. Automatons in this world can be of two varieties. One of, just machines, soulless machines that have, no personality to them, no anything beyond just they're given a command and they do it. But then there are ones that were given life and have taken on life in their own way. There were alchemists and tinkerers who managed to make their own, but that is up to interpretation of whether they conceived it themselves, or whether they gained the inspiration and the knowledge from the original birthplace of sentient automatons, which is the plane of Mechanus. Basically like the plane of law, more or less, complete neutrality, just things work as they should be. But the plane of Mechanus is literally, there's so much unknown about it that they think that the plane of Mechanus is like, and it is a living entity itself, rather than just a plane of existence. It goes that crazy into ideas. So those automatons that come from Mechanus, which, given your background, you would absolutely know about them, like the monodrones, pentadromes, and for just more obvious examples, but also like a lot of clockwork automatons that function much more autonomously and warforged come from there. That is where they were born, that is where they were made, and they have made their way onto the material plane for one reason or another, or by whatever crazy means. So most of them you're basically holding the brain and the soul. It's very argued here whether the memory cores are, an actual just like brain, or whether it is the like physical embodiment of what people would describe as a soul.
Gotcha.
So that is what you are holding.
Brain.
Alimar looks at that and he says, "This is absolutely ancient." I understand that you may not remember any of this, but these were, and like kind of like just like gently touches it, these were pre-Oblivion designs and materials.
Oh.
According to what we had learned, but I know that you don't remember it, but that this is that. This material is not naturally occurring anymore. This metal, but it's not necessarily metal, it's more of stone, but also not. The exact composition is not something that we've ever found out, and we don't know. But even the way that it functions, the way that you could potentially take this apart, repair, or what have you, ancient, but it's in obviously decent enough condition. It's not falling apart in your hands.
wonder if there's a way to hook it up again. Something.
Alimar looks at you. Oh, we can make that happen.
Oh?
Absolutely, we could.
I'd be very interested in making that happen.
It's going to take a lot of time and a lot of materials and a lot of money, but we could make it happen.
I don't have a lot of any of those.
I have time. I have money. I have no materials.
Would you like to keep it with you?
Alimar's eyes go wide. And you're going to trust me to make an apparatus, a body for this?
I have no one I would trust more.
Holding back tears is this man. I can do that. I can do that. As soon as it's done, I will let you know.
Thank you, old friend. I'll hand it over.
Hand it over, and there's a big smile and a lot of nodding. And throughout this day, as there is, as you guys continue talking, there's interjection of what Alimar's plans are for this, and he's just ricocheting things off of you back and forth. And if you guys even go down to have a bite to eat, he definitely will grab a pencil, will start drawing things on napkins. You have given this guy a lot back suddenly. Where in 1,000 years he would have never thought of working on something like this again, because all that it would remind him of was you and everything that had happened. And that is why he gave up on tinkering, and he's going to explain this to you. He gave up on tinkering and inventing, and that's why all of his works were locked away, because he just couldn't do it anymore. And that's why he went to go work at the frickin' Sand Wizard shop, because he needed something different. He got tired of sitting around. He got tired of trying to find different ways to use his craft, so he figured, fuck the craft, I'll start something else. And where do I start? Well, I'm good at making things, so I can make a fucking sandwich, sure. And that's literally the whole reason. But now that you're back, and that you are asking him to do this for you, he's taking the extra step, the extra mile, and is through the fucking roof all the way to the moon. Take an inspiration. You have just single-handedly, in one foul swoop, just changed this man's course of life. You gave him solace and peace. Obviously, he still does not want to think about or really talk about the specifics of how everything happened. But having you back alive, having you trust him, and having you put all of just giving him opportunities to talk with you, to speak again, that is an absolute whiplash. And I mean, quick changes in emotions are going to happen at that point. It's just, he's not going to forget it, but he's definitely not going to wallow in it anymore either. You've put his mind on focus elsewhere. And of course, you asking him to do this for you, he's gonna do it.
Hell yeah.
You of all people, if it was anybody else asking him, he would say no. Well done.
It gives me the warm fuzzies.
No. Was there anything else, Spider, that you wanted from this?
I guess as an aside, when I first started talking to him again, I would ask him if I did magic beforehand, or is that new?
You did do magic beforehand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, no, he'll say that you were always able to do magic.
Nice.
Except you never used it for the right reasons, he says.
That much never changed. I would want him to show me around his town and, also catch up on his life and everything in our downtime.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah, you guys will walk around. He loves to be by the shore, and he'll actually he'll just bring you to the docks to just kind of sit there and kick his legs out a little bit. And he'll just talk about how him and Jorah met, and after everything happened, his life was shit. He was homeless for a while, but made some cash as being the lamplighter here in Arginstead. And without knowing who Jorah was, he always made sure that he would be the lamplighter on Jorah Street after he saw him through the window once. And honestly, he even admits that he never even cared to notice about the guards outside the door. He was never focused on them. At a certain point, Jorah would go out on late night walks just by himself. Guards relatively close behind, and whenever they would pass, there was always just friendly hellos exchanged for however many years, which then turned into oh, I see you here all the time, what's your deal with what's your name, etc. And then they became friendly, and then after a time a relationship blossomed, and here they are today. So that's kind of the biggest stuff that had happened in his life that he thinks is the most positive. He never gave up on his faith either. He remained cleric-like, and as he was continually homeless, if there were any sick individuals, he was always ready to heal them as best as he could. And he describes, when you were sick, he was studying up on medicine, so he's very good at being just a physician, a doctor, honestly, and self-taught. The guy's intelligent. And he's continued that. In place of the tinkering and whatnot, he just dedicated himself to medicine because it became almost an obsession for him, because he kept trying to figure out what was wrong with you. And during the relationship with Jorah, Jorah noticed that and found it to be kind of unhealthy, he'll mention. And Jorah was the reasoning for him to, get out. It was one of the bigger pushes for, get out, go do, find something different. Stop, obsessing over these books and anatomy and everything. Go out. Do something different. And then with Iden opening up Sand Wizards in recent history, it became his favorite spot to be. The food was great, the vibe was great. He, Iden's always very friendly. He works the crowd very well. And he asked him for a job, and Iden just said, "Oh yeah, sure, come on by whenever you want." Okay.
Man, you did a really good Iden impression.
That's adorable.
But yeah, that's been Alimar's life for the most part.
I'm sure there's something else I should ask, but I'm gonna kick myself later if I forget. But that's fine.
All right, sounds good.
Just one last thing.
Mm-hmm.
When we're turning in for the night one night, I want to offer him a hug.
Oh, yeah, he'll take the hug.
And I want to say, it's good to see you again, old friend. And I know this might be an empty apology, because I don't really know or understand the reasons why, but I'm sorry for asking you to do that all these years ago.
Takes a deep breath and just tightens his hug on you and just says into your ear, "It's not an empty apology. And it means the world to me. It's fantastic to have you back again. I missed you."
I missed you too.
Who is cutting onions?
Alright, so moving on then from Robert and Alimar. Did Shale decide what school of magic that she wanted something from?
So I have two, and then I had actually crap, I think I forgot one of the other things I wanted to do. Oh no, I remember. Okay, so there's either a transmutation or an abjuration lecture.
Okay.
But while I'm here, I want to see if they have a teleportation circle.
Oh, I can tell you that if they do, that is not within access to you.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe at some later date then. And also, I want to go look for a souvenir for Innra, but that's...
This one would be really fun. Okay.
Oh boy.
So as you're sitting in this class, there's a decent amount of people in here, you know, probably about like 23. And you kind of like sit in the back and you see that there's you kind of sit between a young like turtle guy, and he looks like a box turtle.
Oh.
And on the other side of you is this Eladrin individual. They look to be in the current season of autumn, so there's like a little bit of like a tinge of green, just kind of like at the far end of their kind of long hair, kind of goes down to the shoulder, maybe a little bit longer, maybe just a shoulder blade, and the rest of it is like this orange, and the eyes are this, you know, very dulled like lime green, but the rest of their skin is a little bit more orange and yellow and what have you. She sees you sitting down, like paying attention very well, and she, with all the best intention in the world, but definitely probably will come off a little rude. She will ask you, you know, like, "Excuse me, do you need my notes? Do you understand everything that's happening?"
Shale will give her a very kind smile and say, "That's very kind of you, but no need to worry about me. I'm just here to keep learning." And I'll give her a little smile.
She'll smile back and, "Oh, okay." And then she'll focus back up. As you're there, they are going over the all the basic stuff for the 3rd level abjuration spell, Intellect Fortress.
Oh, Intellect Fortress.
Yes.
That one's not familiar. I expected a 1st level.
Nah.
What the fuck?
These kids are learning some crazy shit, man.
Intellect
Fortress, 3rd level. For the duration,
Ooh.
you or one willing creature you can see within range has resistance to psychic damage, as well as advantage on intelligence, wisdom, and charisma saving throws.
Yup,
Oh.
I'm gonna be taking some real detailed notes.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit.
Concentration spell can concentrate for 1 hour. I give you guys fun stuff.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So I've technically learned that?
Yeah. I'll say,
Is it like...
yeah, fuck it. You've learned it. They're going over it today, and you know, yeah, you've learned it. We'll put that in your spell book.
Holy shit, y'all.
Awesome. All right. So, just for sake of brevity here, the days pass, and you guys learning and catching up and experiencing over these days. All the while, Dean has kind of just remained sparse around you guys. You see, for the most part, he's with Aiden. Anytime that like you do go searching for him, if you do happen to cross him, is usually at Sand Wizards or at Aiden's resident. And when the time comes for you guys to part and everybody to say their goodbyes, very heartfelt, especially between Robin and Alimar, and Jorah as well. You know, giving you guys some just a nice packed meal on the go for at least your first day. Both him and Alimar decided to make you guys a little something on your trip out. And as you guys also say goodbye to Aiden, he makes a point to tell you all specifically, well, it was a very nice seeing you and getting to know you and meeting you, and you are welcome back at my shop anytime. Just no more breaking the law, okay? I'm getting old. Don't do this to me.
We'll do our best.
Okay.
It's the best, closest to a promise you'll get from Theodore.
I can accept that. You have Dean as a brother. It's I get a lot less. So, let me tell you. First of all, I wish you all the best luck with finding out your memories and what you need and who you are and finishing your task. I know it is not going to be easy. And you are going to find a lot of hardship. Not just in your mind, but in the world. But know that you are not alone. You may have to keep a lot of things secret. And that's okay. But just to know, you can find the people who will help you. And the times when you can't, have each other. It's all gonna be okay. He's like a half smile.
I appreciate it.
Well, okay. You're welcome. Now get the fuck out of here. Dean is going crazy over not seeing his kids. Go before he loses his brain or pops a blood vessel and has a stroke or something. Go, get out. Go.
Goodbye, Aiden.
Goodbye. Say goodbye, Larch.
See you.
And you guys see the little homunculus guy just go.
Oh,
Oh, man.
Ashale will give him a little wave. Like the kind of wave that you give kids where you like fold all four of your fingers down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess she'll give that kind of wave.
And Dean goes up to Aiden and gives him a big hug, and Aiden's like, okay, I'm Fairbones, old man. Jesus. Dean looks at him, holds him by the shoulder. I'll bring the kids for the winter. Okay, I promise. Save for the winter here. Okay, good. I'll talk to my friends over at the school. They can have a nice time. They can board, whatever, you know. And the little ones, well, they can stay here. It's okay. Don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. Just want you to be by yourself. Okay? Shit, we've been through worse. Fuck off. Come back. Okay. Dean follows you guys out and... Alright, let's go home. And he grabs the little handcart that you guys had rode in on, and when you're out of the city, hooks up the Phantom Steed and you all begin on your way. I'm foregoing any random encounters this time for the random encounter of Dean talking.
Oh, all right.
Okay. So, as you guys leave Arginstead, and begin your travel, it's pretty calm. You know, you guys have your conversations, but for the most part, Dean stays out of it. Up until roughly around the second day, or pretty much the last day, when as you guys are riding along and he's just kind of guiding the cart and his Phantom Steed, he doesn't stop, but he slows down just so everybody can hear him a little better. And he says, before you all inevitably head off in your own directions and, you know, leave all this behind for the time being, I want to say something. First of all, I'm not expecting you guys to like me. In fact, I wouldn't want you to at this point. I know that what I did to Innra was a lot. I know that you guys did not like that in the slightest. You made that very clear. But I want to explain something to you. I'm not going to justify myself, but I'm just going to tell you what I was thinking. And take it as you will. The boy didn't know anything. He didn't know what you were dragging him into. And yes, that angered me. It angered me that you were dragging a young guy, a kid, through this potential hell, where I'm sure that he has not yet seen the horrors that lay before you. And what is he going to do? Find out how harsh it all can be, how scary it all can be, when he's fighting against something or somebody that wasn't gonna stop, that would be more than happy to just gut him out onto the whatever surface he happened to be standing on? Is that going to be the moment where he realized that maybe he made the wrong choice? That maybe he was blind? Or was he going to figure that out from a crazy motherfucker who was going to stop, but who was going to scare him and give him something to think about? So I became the bad guy. Happy to be the bad guy. I can live with the consequences of my actions. And I hope you all can say the same about yourselves. Because what you are going to do and what we all have done, we should not take lightly. And if you can tell me that you can walk around completely fine and happy after you've killed a man, and maybe even after you've cashed in a check that was paid to you to do it, then I'm sorry, you're more fucked up than me. And you know, Theodore, you said something. You said something at that moment where I was taking away his agency by telling him that he couldn't go along. In a way, yes, but that is not my intention. My intention was to take away all of your agencies over him. Because whether you all recognize it or not, you have a lot more sway over that boy than maybe you recognize. But for some reason, and I'm not sure exactly what you've done or what he owes you, but I can see it. If you asked him to go to the ends of this fucking planet with all of you, he just might do it. And he just might do it without asking you any questions. Because obviously this whole time, he didn't. And that tells me that he feels some sort of responsibility to you. That he feels that he has to repay. So I need you to recognize how much power you have over him. So I took you all away from him so maybe he could have some time alone to think. And sure, let him be mad at me. Let me be the one that he has ire towards. I'm okay with that. But I was not about to let you all drag an ignorant kid through this hell without telling him. Without him knowing what could possibly lay ahead for him. And what that possibility could be is some motherfucker like me. So hate me, dislike me, don't care about me, I could care less. I did what I said that I would do for you. And more, honestly. I brought you my brother, and I helped you figure some things out. Way more than I wanted to, but honestly, you can thank Aiden. We had a talk. and he knows how to get to me. So thank him.
Here's the thing, Dean. You piss me off. An extreme amount. I gotta say, though, after all of it, I do respect you quite a bit. I mean, I see where you're coming from. And you're right. I meant to tell the kid. Shit happened, and I forgot. And it was... Hell, I could have sworn I told him. Honestly, truly. You caught us on that. And, you know, yeah, it is better that it was you instead of some fucking psycho.
It was extreme, but it was... You got the point across.
You're still a fucking bastard for it. Like, I'm not fully forgiving you. You're still a fucking asshole. But an asshole I can respect. An asshole that... Fuck, I might even be able to trust. So... I don't know if you wanted to try and... I don't know what you were trying to do with that speech. With the whole, I don't care if you hate me bullshit. Buddy, you made friends, and you're gonna have to live with that.
Yeah,
and that means you might have
congrats.
to live with us. Just being a thing in your presence. Congrats.
He looks over his shoulder at you guys, and like just quickly like trails his eye on each one of you before looking back towards the road. More than I deserve and more than I ever thought I'd get. I'll take it.
Again, we know where you're coming from. Your point isn't wrong. And you obviously care.
Do I have some notes how you do it? On how you do it? Yeah. Can I
Maybe a little
articulate them
bit.
well? Probably not.
I just want you all to know I wouldn't be talking about this if I hadn't made the same mistake. But
Yeah.
I guess thanks. I'll take it.
Also, good point. I feel like maybe Innra thinks he owes us his life. Let's make sure that he doesn't feel like he owes his life with his own life.
Yeah, I mean, I've been trying to tell the kid. You remember when we were in, oh, jeez. Hold on. Yeah, call Jeff. Yeah. Remember when we were in
Metagaming
Call Jeff?
pigeon coo.
And, I don't remember what you guys are doing. It was right before shit went down. And we were at the docks. I was about to tell the kid everything. I mean, top to bottom. And then, you know, the screaming started and shit went down and... But yeah. I mean, you've seen me pull the kid aside. I've been telling him, hey, you owe us jack shit. So...
He still might subconsciously think he owes us something, though.
Yeah. You got a point.
Like, he might know he doesn't owe us anything, but he might feel like he needs to do it. Let's make sure he knows he doesn't need to do anything.
Yeah. And, when we get back, we sit him down, and I say, I know what brought us back, had some words on what we should tell people, but like Dean said, the kid deserves to know, and I think he deserves to know it all.
As long as we won't be putting him in more danger by telling him.
That was my biggest concern to begin with. That's why I didn't say anything.
Exactly.
I thought it was a
The
threat
warning-
not to tell anyone.
The warning was rather dire, as I recall.
Yeah,
And
well,
I did not want him hurt. I would not have allowed him to walk into a dangerous situation. I would have fought to keep him out of a dangerous situation.
I think that kid's gonna fight hard to stay with us, whether we like it or not.
It depends. Let's see how he feels when we get back.
Either way, I'm telling him.
I want to speak with him as well. I
I'm gonna
think
smack them up.
we all owe him an answer, at the very least. A conversation. Why are dice rolling? Why are dice rolling?
Decision making on Dean's part. Dean says out loud,
That threat is real.
How could you possibly know?
I know a lot more than you think. But you know what I say to that? Fucker. I was there. At the inn.
Ashale is gonna shoot a glance over her shoulder at the others. Like, hey, what the fuck?
Like,
hold on.
Oh no, Theodor's already started speaking up. So, you're saying you know them? The inn?
Yeah.
They said only, what, one other group got through?
Was it Slick that said that? Was it... Someone said there was only the one group, but it wasn't. Ashale's shaken. Like, actively shaken.
Whoa. It was him and his brother.
And you didn't... No. I can't say I don't understand, but... You don't think this was fucking pertinent to maybe bring up at some point?
I'm bringing it up now, aren't I?
He kind of hinted at it also. He knew.
I thought he knew the birds meant. I didn't think you fucking knew what we went through.
Takes one to know one. Myself, Aiden, Russell, Carlisle, Aura. We all went through it. We all knew. And I know what you're up against.
And let me guess, you can't say a damn thing. Sworn to secrecy.
The final threat.
Huh. Well, fuck. I'm not gonna ask you about your old group. I think I already know how the story ends. But,
I'm glad you're still alive.
yeah.
Yeah. Robert. When you find Hugin, he'll know just as much. And he's not beholden to our rule.
Oh.
No. He's not. Like Innra for you, Hugin tagged along for us. But Hugin just decided to never leave. He knows just as much. He'll tell you everything you need to know.
Wow. Where can we find him?
Wherever that stupid rock map leads. Even then, I don't know where.
Fair. If we find him, we'll, we can drop a hint for you if you want. Can't imagine it's been easy not knowing where the fucker is.
It's not. He's a strong guy. Good kid. He's figured himself out. As far as I'm concerned, he's got far more responsibility than I. He can handle it.
We'll at least tell the fucker you're thinking of him.
Yeah. If you don't mind while you're at it, you find your way in Harkenstrom, and somehow you get a message to the king. Tell him Dean says hi. I'm not going back anytime soon.
You piss him off, or is he a friend? I just want to know before I end up either paraded around or in a gallows.
Friend.
You got it.
Apprentice.
Understood. You don't need to say more. I'll hand deliver it to him personally.
Thanks.
You have my fucking word.
Thanks.
And with that, you guys continue on your way, mostly in silence. And by the end of your travels, it's hit evening. Dusk is about to hit, but go ahead.
Yeah, I would like to at some point ask Dean.
So, when you're the only other person, well, one of the only other people that understands what the inn was and is, if you're open to it, I'd at least like to know if it was the same for you, or if things changed between. I'd like to talk about it. I'm not sure either of us will get to really talk to other people who've been through it outside of our groups, and I know you'll give it to me straight.
Yeah. When my kids can survive on their own, come knocking.
Okay. Well, if I live that long, I'll be there.
Sounds good.
You guys finish out this journey. You make it back to Stillshore in the outskirts. And the car's being dragged through the sparse little farming areas in the small little hamlets. And as you guys are riding, he pulls out the sending stone to his kids and he says,
I know we're about to get there, but I'll at least let them know that we're on our way. It's around that time anyways, I should check in.
Speaks into the stone and says,
Hey kids, we're almost back. We'll be there in a few minutes. Hope everybody's doing okay and the house isn't burned down.
and he waits, and his daughter comes over and says, yeah, Dad, everything's fine. But if you don't mind, could you go over to Farmer Cecil's? We're out of honey butter, and you know how the little ones are. And you guys...
That's a code phrase. That's a code phrase.
Yeah,
That's a code phrase. I know a code phrase when I hear one.
Dean stops the cart flat. All of you can feel a sudden pressure in the air.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to beat a motherfucker, aren't we?
Do we hear this? Do we hear the communication?
It's through a sending stone, so I'll say yeah.
Okay.
He puts it slowly into his pocket and he says,
whatever is about to happen, you do not act out of turn.
Dean, you point. I'll do it.
He gets off the steed and he leaves the cart.
We're walking.
Understood.
You all head towards his home. And he takes his satchel bag. He dumps out the contents on the ground. He starts loading it with stones. And he starts carrying it in his hand. And he starts walking up the steps. And he stops on the steps short. And there's silence for a moment. He looks to you all.
Is your teacher kid a spell?
Innra?
Yeah.
I was trying to teach him sending, I think.
Yeah, he just spoke to me. Whatever you did, he did a good job.
What did he say?
4. 1 inside, 3 out. A good kid.
Yeah, we keep him around for a fucking reason.
And Theodore draws the longsword and axe.
You guys walk up the stairs, and in front of the windmill is 3 individuals. A lizard folk, half-elf, and a human. The lizard folk looks a little bit more crocodile like the half-elf, long brown hair just kind of falling in front of their face a little bit. The lizard folk and the half-elf have heavy crossbows, and there is the human individual, kind of like shorter, dirty blonde hair, looking like the muscle of whatever this party is all about, and all of them armed and armored. And as Dean walks up, he yells, "Kids, I got the honey butter," and looks at the three people in front of the house. "Can I help you all? Who are you?" The human man steps forward. "You happen to be the owner of this here home?" "That depends. Who's asking?" Some looks are exchanged. Richie Arm. It's a pleasure to meet you, sir. And our business here will be short. Go on. It's come to our attention that certain individuals were seen last in your home. And those individuals just so happen to be, and he pulls out some paperwork from their bag. Looking for a specific Waylon Smith, Vera Valoritza, Theraflor, and a Mayfairwoods.
Oh god, okay.
And judging by the pictures we have, it seems they're right behind you. Dean looks back at all of you. Looks at this guy.
And what? Those are wanted posters or something?
In fact, sir, they are. Dean takes a few steps forward.
Let me take a look at this.
And he hands Dean the posters and he flips through each one. And he kind of stands next to this guy and he holds up one at a time and like just putting it up like in the air, like looking at each of your faces and looking at the posters.
And what are these?
Ashale is looking exasperated.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Can I roll an insight check to try and see what Dean might do next?
Sure.
Oh, is he giving himself paper cuts?
Would combat sense help?
That's a
yes.
17.
Never mind.
Actually, do you
Never
have?
mind.
Okay, well, 17. We'll take it.
I do have combat sense. It's a +4.
I'm gonna
So
say with
it
the
would be
insight.
18 if I rolled the same thing.
With an insight, Dean is suddenly in a different mode.
Okay, I'm gonna play it up.
What that is, you don't know.
All right, I'm gonna give him something to play off of.
Dean, we didn't tell you, and we don't want to get you mixed up in this, all right? Not you and your kids.
So let me get this straight. What do these people do, and what exactly did you all do? Go ahead. Lay it on me.
We pissed off a guy called Maxwell. And, I'm assuming you boys are from him?
Yes and no. We just happen to be some individuals here in Stillshore that happened upon your wanted posters that were recently pinned up. And we just happened to notice that you were in town not too long ago and decided to try and find you. Because I'm here to tell you, friends, you got a big bounty on each of your heads.
Right.
Something we can't ignore.
Dean holds up one of the posters.
That is 4 digits on there, my friends. A 1 and
Jesus,
3
what?
zeros.
Dead.
Yeah, sounds about right, actually.
Yeah.
So, listen, Dean, you and your kids, we don't want to get your kids involved. Fellas, I wouldn't want to be so violent in front of children. I'm gonna lay it straight. I will peacefully walk with you down this hill, away from this house, and we can have a nice discussion there.
They look at each other.
We can play whatever game you want, friend.
And as soon as the guy takes a step forward, Dean stretches a hand out and smacks the papers into the guy's chest and stops him.
Now let me get something straight here for a moment. Why exactly are you waiting outside my house? Well, sir, we heard that there were some dangerous fugitives around. Well, we just wanted to make sure that you and your kids were safe. That's all. We just wanted to make sure that there was going to be no harm done. He says, and Dean continues and kind of like steps in front of the guy and drops the posters on the ground. Now let me get one more thing very clear, and I'm going to need you to talk really slow. You thought taking over my house and taking my kids hostage was the way to protect them? Sir, I don't want to be saying that we're taking nobody hostage, but just in case, we wanted to make sure all our bases were covered. From children. My children.
And there is a pressure that you guys can feel from where you're standing, and that this man can feel as well. And it grows stronger and stronger. And this man in front of him says, "Now, sir, you don't want to be doing anything brash," and pulls out a short sword. And Dean's, as this man draws a short sword, he looks back at all of you and says, almost as if there are two voices talking at once, "You all stay out of this."
Theodore just kind of not puts his weapons away, but puts them down to his side.
Fellas, I'm afraid you're the ones who did something brash.
And in an instant, there is a jet of air that erupts from Dean, and suddenly in this contortioning distortion in the air, there seems to almost be these clear, transparent appendages and arms of all different species reaching out from him. And this large, looming form of some transparent, amorphous being almost overlaps him. As the man sees Dean in whatever form he has found himself to be, in an instant, he tries to thrust a sword outward. Dean steps to the side, grabs his wrist, puts it over his head, twists his wrist until it snaps and breaks. You suddenly hear a scream come out from this man. Dean then takes a quick punch right to the throat, takes his right arm, loops it underneath his thigh, grabs him by his belt loop, lifts him with one arm onto his shoulder, and slams him down to the ground. And in an instant, he reaches his hand, both hands around his thigh, going up into his ankle, grabbing his heel in the front of his foot, and twists it completely into a 180.
Theodore just pipes up.
Dean, leave one alive. Yeah?
No!
Oh no, I need to send a message.
And he looks down at this individual and says,
Stay.
The other two, one takes a crossbow shot at him. Dean takes a step to the side and grabs it out of midair, deflect missiles, takes it and tosses it at the other one, hitting him in the shoulder. In a flash of movement, Dean rushes forward and takes one singular punch to the one who just shot the crossbow at him. You hear a crack and bending of metal, and a jettison of blood comes out of the mouth and leaking out of the new holes in this man's armor. His organs are suddenly pierced. The other one, who had just tried to take the shot, takes steps backwards, the lizard folk, and Dean doesn't even fully have to reach him, but one of those spectral arms reaches out and slams him into the wall of the windmill, crushing him into it, wood piercing his body. And then you guys hear crashing glass from above as you see a man hanging out of the window with another crossbow, takes a shot, misses Dean completely.
Sorry, I need to be...
And he looks up. Those transparent spectral arms dig into the windmill, dragging him up. Dean doesn't even have to climb, and he looks in through the window, and you all can hear him say,
Get out of my house.
One of the arms grabs this individual, yanks him, and in a backhand throw, tosses him towards the ground at all of you. There's a splat of blood and twisted limbs that goes flying past you over the deck, down the hill. And Dean slowly floats back down and approaches the man on the ground who is trying to crawl away, almost crawling towards all of you. And Dean looms over him, And the man looks up at him, screaming pain, and yells, "Who are you?" And Dean squats down right over top of him, looking down at him and says, "The last thing you're ever gonna see." And Dean doesn't even have to do anything. The man's eyes roll back in his head, and he dies. He stands up, looks at all of you, and wordlessly starts to walk towards his house, and opens up the door, and you can hear the kids inside.
You know, I guess I did tell him to leave one alive, but I don't blame him.
I'm going to look at the others, and I'm going to say, I don't think we're going to be welcome here after that. I think we need to be prepared to leave immediately.
Dean said something about, you know, we're not welcome back till his kids can defend themselves.
I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make a move towards the house. I'm just going to stand outside. I'm not going in.
Yep, Theodore has stowed his weapons completely. Arms are just kind of crossed, and he's just standing exactly where he was.
After...
You remember that point where I was about to fight the fucker? Like, glad that didn't happen.
Yeah.
It's gonna be real. Yeah.
Yeah.
I still would have done it, but I would have lost.
Yeah.
After about 5 minutes pass, Innra comes out of the house first.
Are you alright?
He walks over to you guys. Yeah, I'm fine. I just literally, you know, I was nearby because I was coming here to talk to Rohan, the Auroch. Because I wanted information, and maybe, I don't know, an Auroch that can't talk back to me was going to help me, but then those guys showed up. So...
Kids are fine?
Yeah, no, they're fine. They were just scared shitless by those... Oh my god. And
yeah, we didn't have to touch shit.
Valkyrie is going to run up to Innra and give him a tight hug.
He hugs you back. Oh boy. And as you guys are having this moment, Dean steps out. And before he walks towards you, he kind of turns his head towards the one that's in the wall. Still breathing. And Dean just slowly walks over, looks him in the eye, grabs him by the armor plates, and pushes him further in.
Oh, wow.
That one's still breathing, Dean?
Not anymore.
Yeah, right. I'm sure we'll deal with our own when we're out of here. Because, tell you what, we're not spending the night here. We're getting the fuck out.
Yeah, like how you are. You're not sleeping here.
Yeah, no. Again, I'll be back when your kids can, fend for themselves, like you said.
I'm gonna tell you something
We won't
else.
see each other till then.
I'm gonna tell you one other thing. I mean this to all of you. You come back here. 1, before my kids can defend themselves. And 2, ever come in here with unfinished business like that, I'm gonna put you down myself.
Fair enough.
Understood.
Innra?
He looks at Dean.
Thank you. You got a set of balls on you, kid.
Speaking of...
Looks at him. Thanks.
Yeah, speaking of, kid, we got a long talk ahead of us. Trust me, you're not in trouble or anything. Nothing like that.
If anything, we are.
Yeah, we're the ones that fucked up, kid.
We can talk about this, I think, once we get out of here, right, Dean?
Yes,
Yep,
absolutely.
no.
Yep.
Dean, have a nice life. I'll tell the King of Arginstead you said hi.
We'll see you
And,
again.
I'll see you in... What do you say, 20 years?
Sure.
Yeah. See you then, fucker. Have a nice life.
Good luck.
Thanks for the horse slashing.
Also, thanks for kicking the shit out of those guys. Made it a lot easier for me.
And Dean, at this point, as you guys are saying stuff, as he's walking away, he just closes the door behind him silently.
Yeah, okay, we need to go.
Fair point. Let's get the fuck out right now.
Alright, and with that, you guys promptly leave Dean's home, not to return for many years to come. And with that, we will end session.
Woo! All right.
I think Maxwell is a problem that we're going to be dealing with sooner rather than later.
So, yeah, actually,
Like, on the way back, it's very much before we get to the conversation with Innra, which is next session, very much so we gotta go deal with Maxwell, right?
Eventually, I guess, yeah.
Sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
He put an untold amount of children at risk.
Listen, if they knew we were here, that means they got to other friends. If Vox is fucking dead, I'm going to splay Maxwell out in the town square.
They said they were bounty hunters and that the wanted posters appeared in town. They were in town, which means that they did not follow our trail.
They just happened to be there.
Still, I don't give a shit.
I know. I feel much the same about many of the people that we've encountered over the last weeks now.
Worst thing is, these guys, the Dean Guild, I'll bet you anything they were desperate.
I don't care. They threatened children. They got every single thing that was coming to them. They made a decision that they were going to put the lives of children on the line. That was their choice. And they have to live or die with the consequences of that choice. I don't give a shit what happened. They deserved it.
And that is where we were picking up with you guys fleeing at least Dean's home fairly swiftly. And on the road, and this is where we decide what the fuck you guys are doing.
Oh boy, you would think with 2 weeks of no game we would have, maybe planned, but
Nah.
So,
I think we've overstayed. I think we've overstayed our welcome and we need to leave immediately.
Really?
Well, obviously people in town aren't as beholden to keeping our locations quiet as other towns that we have frequented. I would like to send them...
Oh, sorry.
Nope, go.
They're just gonna walk over to the nearest mutilated corpse.
Oh, you guys were like...
We left.
You were told to leave.
Gotcha.
We were told to get the hell off his property.
Yeah.
That's fair. I'll get the fuck off his property.
Yeah.
I'll
say
were
for
leaving.
sake of argument, like you guys hopped onto the cart being pulled by Igmut, and are going in a direction. So honestly, at this point, here, let's pull up the map here.
Inland would be a general good direction to start. I don't think we're going to be back on the high seas for a little bit.
That is fair.
Yeah.
So we're saying that you guys are like, obviously Dean's home is in Stillshore. It's a little outside of the town proper, but we can say that you're basically like outside of Stillshore at the moment.
Yeah.
So
honestly,
pick a direction.
we probably, in all honesty,
like, we probably took care of the people that are going to hunt us down here, right?
True. But there's no telling that if anyone else in town might decide to try their luck.
Fair. So, question is, we need to get back to Mulderport to take care of some things.
That is a long
Obviously.
way from here.
Yeah. Well, we also need to go to Harkenstrom to deliver a message for Dean.
True, and that's halfway there.
I need to... I have to check out some places along the way,
Timbermore?
well...
Was it?
Timbermore was where Wyatt Bowman was last seen by the poster.
Yeah. But like Pevelport, Harkenstrom, Timbermore, Farnos, and Ulsterset are kind of where Wayland might have been. So just heading south along the coast would get a lot of searching for me done. I know we also, though, I know Arginstead's a place you need to go, Robert, right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
We were
that's
just
where you
there,
just
weren't
were.
we? Arkengarten is the place that.
Yeah, Arkengarten
Robert
is
is
the
from.
other joint. Yeah, I know. 2 A's right next to each other.
Yeah.
Right across the mirror basin. Gray, how could you? It's not like that happens in real life or anything.
So, I mean, we could make a detour, head north to Arkengarten if we want to. Cut back south. Go to Houndspell, because I need to go there. There's a lot of questions I have about Houndspell. I kind of died there. Work our way down to Caltreth. Meet Vox. I need to pay him for the armor. And also pick up the armor.
We are making like 2 months of plans right now.
We are. And it's not going to go exactly as we plan.
Well,
If it does, that'd be surprising.
I don't think it was in our plans to end up here until we did.
It wasn't.
Nor did we think we were going to go back to Mulderport. So,
Yeah.
Well, no, we knew that eventually Mulderport was going to catch up with us. We just didn't necessarily expect it to be here and involve children.
I figured it would catch up with us. I didn't figure we'd have to go take care of the problem so soon.
True.
Yeah, so I feel like Mulderport is kind of the end objective. I still want to stop by Caltreth, because with her, like, I would like armor, of course, but with or without, we have to take care of the problem at Mulderport.
One way or another.
Yeah. So I think ultimately heading south is probably at least how we start this off.
South sounds like a plan.
I guess we
At
have
least a
one
direction to
thing-
go.
True.
What were you saying?
The only thing we have to address before we go on this 2-month journey of sorts is if our friend here wants to come with us.
I figured we'd get outside of camp or get outside of town and have a long conversation around a fire.
Yeah, I think tonight is a very long conversation.
As you guys are having this talk in the back of the car, Innra is just making fucking headway, trying to guide Igmut through clearer paths, just so you guys can create as much distance as you can between you and Stillshore. Which I will move you guys to the good old
Travel map.
travel map
Ooh,
that I love reusing because it's easy. Yay! So, we will just say very quickly that you guys push on through the rest of the day to get as far away from Stillshore as possible. So, we'll put you, if we're going to be looking at the map, we'll put you like just at the very edge of that square where it's contained, or it contains Stillshore. All right. So, as night falls and you guys have created quite a lot of distance, you feel it safe enough to settle down for the night. You guys have parked Igma in the cart just in the middle of the field. There's really no clear, helpful point to make you guys feel more safe. This is wide open fields with trees just dotted around, no real forests. But you set up camp, you set up a little pot for cooking, and you all just kind of sit on the ground looking up at the stars, and Hema up on the I guess railing of the cart, just perched, kind of like tucked head into her wings. Igmut laying down and munching on the grass. There falls the awkward silence of, well, we know what we have to talk about, but who's gonna say it first?
Do you want us to start? Or do you?
I think we owe it to the kid to at least come clean first.
Yeah, I could hear your end. That'd be pretty good. I'd like to know.
Well, do you want to tell it, or? I mean, I guess we can all tell our parts.
We can. Well, best to rip the plaster off, so to speak. Before we met you, we told you when we met you that we did not remember much, I believe.
Yeah, that was told to me, and I figured it was kind of interesting that 4 amnesiacs were traveling together. So
Yes. Well, the reason that we were traveling together is because we all 4 woke up in our own graves.
you see his eyebrows immediately like kind of raise.
They were all right next to each other, too.
They were, but we were all presumably dead. I cannot speak for all of you, I have vague memories of what led to my presumable death, but Ashale kind of falls quiet, just looks in the fire.
No, so I'm gonna be completely clear. Gods be damned. So, this is something that cannot be communicated about, really, or cannot be told to another soul.
And the reason we didn't tell you is because we thought we weren't supposed to tell you.
I almost told you, and then that city started getting under attack by, stuff, and there was screaming and the whole fire thing, and yeah. Before we woke up in our graves, we were in this almost limbo. That's how I'd describe it, at least. And it was this...
Hold for a moment, please. Ashale is going to look directly at Innra. If we tell you this, we may irrevocably put you on this path with us. There may be no going back. What I have told you is safe to know. Anything else, I cannot guarantee your safety. And I want you to know that and be very aware of that, because we do not want anything to happen to you. We want you to go into this knowing what you are facing. So if you do not want to be part of this, you need to tell us now. And we will respect that.
He is looking you right in your eyes. Since this conversation has began, he has not been looking off into the distance beyond you. He's not been gazing into the fire. He's been looking at each of you in the face. And as you say that, you see the most stern, I guess, or stoic, I guess is the correct word, that you've seen Innra. He's thinking. And he's also trying to think of what to say. Takes a deep breath through his nose and out through his mouth. Okay. Well, if this is going to be changing my life in the way that you say it is, then honestly, it may be best that I don't know those details. Believe me, though, am I happy to know that, there's warning for whatever I get wrapped up in for the remainder of the time that I'm with you all? Yes. That at least gives me some sort of preparation. So if there's something that I see that I'm confused about or I don't know, at least I know now that it may be something that I don't even want to. And I'm ready for that. And if it's something that's so dangerous that Dean was so worried about me, I guess honestly it was just full stop. He was just so worried about me. God, how do I put this?
That he went to extremes.
Yeah.
Extremes.
Yeah, he rubs his arm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if it's something that drastic, yeah, honestly, I just don't think that I should know, especially with what I'm about to say.
Of course. That's fair. But yeah, I guess to put it succinctly, we woke up in our graves to the about southwest of Molderport. And then we met you shortly after, honestly. Not even I don't think 2 days passed.
Wow.
Yeah. Within 48 hours we met you. And I mean, you know the rest. You were there and yeah, and shit.
I didn't realize
I wanted
it
to
was that
tell you.
soon.
Yeah. I wanted to tell you. I tried, and then we got so caught up in things that I think we all sincerely thought we had told you. You just kind of, for lack of a better word, you know, became part of us. That's our fault. We should have been more open.
Look, and he trails his eyes over all of you. I don't want you guys to feel bad. Like, I don't know what sort of conversations that you had with Dean while you were away. I don't know what he told you. I don't know what you told him. I don't know what your situation is, but I'm here to tell you from where I stand, I'm not mad. I'm not mad at all. I mean, I'm being told now. And as far as I can tell, nothing that's connected to whatever you all are involved in that had Dean so afraid, I want to say, none of that stuff has happened yet. Has it?
No.
That's because, well,
Not so far as we're aware.
but that's because the worst is yet to come.
Okay, well then, the worst is yet to come. But it hasn't happened yet, and it hasn't happened while I wasn't aware of its potential. So you know what? It didn't happen yet, and now I know. I'm not mad. I'm not upset, and I'm not going to hold it against you guys. You're clearly in a place, well, where you don't have full agency right now. I'm not going to hold that against you. It's okay. And for as long as I'm traveling with you guys now, I'm ready for it. But that leads me to my end of things. When we get to Timbermore, I think I'm done. I'll have brought you guys to where I promised I would take you. And I think, as much as I really do appreciate you guys, and as much as I really do think that you guys are my friends, you've protected me, you've cared about me, you've tried to train me, you've tried to teach me. You've done a lot for me in the short amount of time that I have known you, and calling you guys anything less than friends, I think, is a disservice to who you are. And is a disservice to what you've done for me. But the paths that you're on, I don't think that's mine. I'm just a guy. A guy who was told by his parents on their deathbed to just go out and see the world, experience a few things. And I don't think fighting, adventuring, dungeon delving, or whatever the hell, or fighting this worst thing to come is what they wanted for me. And honestly, I don't know if that's what I want for me. Because here's the thing, I don't know what I want. I don't. I grew up in Hilkati, and I didn't leave until a few months ago. I don't know.
Fair.
Maybe I want to pick up a craft. Maybe I want to settle down. Maybe, I don't know. What I do know is that I definitely want to bring Igmut home.
Yes.
My mentor, Mugarad, he was, I want to say, Igmut's companion before, and they grew up together from what Mugarad had told me. I don't think Igmut should stay with me, if that makes sense. He's protected me, he's pulled my cart, and I grew up with him, but I don't know, it's something just, it just doesn't feel right, I guess. If that makes sense. I may be off base, but it's what I'm going with right now. One day I want to bring him to see his people, or let him just be home, or whatever. And Val, I know that you have some sort of connection to Igmut. So, when you guys are ready, I'm here to say, at least come and find me, and we can go find Igmut's people together, and Val, we can figure out what your connection is. I'll gladly go with you there. Because honestly, after seeing as much of the world as I have so far, which isn't a lot, I don't think I'll get very far without you guys.
I promise you I will help you bring him home.
Thank you, Val. And I promise, I sincerely do promise, that if you guys need some serious help because you're backed against a wall and you don't think that you can do it on your own, I will help you. I will. You just have to find me. You just gotta call on me, and we'll find a way where that can be possible. But the day in, day out, that's not for me. Because I think I'd be a really shitty friend if I didn't help you, like Val, figuring out your connection to Igmut, and Ashael helping you find your family. And Theodore, Robert, you absolute knuckleheads. You guys are too kind to me, and honestly, too fucking jovial not for me to want you to find peace and happiness, not just share it with everybody else. So please, let me know if you need that help. I'll give it. Just can't do it all the time. I can't do it every day. I'm not meant for that.
That's fair.
Understood.
Tell you what. We'll go deal. We'll drop you off at Timbermore. We'll, make sure you...
We'll make sure you're
somewhere
set
to-
up comfortably in Timbermore.
Yeah. Find somewhere to settle down at least. Or at least, a roof over your head.
Yeah. That'd be nice.
And, we'll go take care of the, problem in Molderport. And, well, we gotta work our way back up north anyway, so I guess we can take a little detour back south and come grab your sorry ass and Igmut and,
Yeah.
figure out where that stubborn bastard goes.
Sounds good. But listen, I do want to apologize for one thing. For making you deal with Maxwell on your own, because honestly, I started this. This is on me.
Maxwell would have found his way into our sites one way or another.
Yeah, I mean, have you seen how easily we get into trouble?
Yeah, I've noticed.
We didn't have to deal with it. We wanted to. And you couldn't have stopped us from doing so.
The dude's a piece of shit. Like,
He's crazy and he needs to go down.
Alright. Well, however you do it, just be careful and...
Aren't we always? Don't answer that.
Okay.
I mean, Vox owes me plate armor, and I owe him 900 gold, so, I'll figure it out on the way.
Okay. Well, just be safe, please.
We always
I'm
try.
gonna get up and walk around the fire and open my arms and ask, "Can I finally give you a hug now?"
Yes, absolutely. I will gladly take a hug from all of you. And he just full arms wrapped around, like buries his head right into your shoulder.
Oh.
I'm going to hug him as tight as I possibly can. And before the rest of the group piles in, I'm going to whisper, "I am so fucking proud of you."
Do we hear this?
You guys can make perception checks.
Yes.
Yeah, Theodore's looking for
Please.
it.
Well, we got 20.
Yeah, you absolutely hear that.
Well, good. When I come in for the group hug, I give him a big slap on his back and say, "We're all proud of you, bud. We're very proud of you."
His face gets all scrunched.
Yeah, he's scrunch face.
Yeah, he gets full scrunched face and like wide doughy eyes. Thanks.
I don't call him on it.
As you all give him a big group hug and hold him tightly, and he tries to wrap his arms around all of you. For those who are on the little bit more of the perceptive side, you guys can see that Igmut has actually turned his head to watch all of this. And he does like a slow blink and rests his head down for the night, feeling as though he does not have to be the sole one to keep an eye on Innra anymore. He can take a rest now as well.
Aw. Nice screaming orcas. Proud of you too, bud.
there's just a grunt, just.
That's all I need.
Oh shit. Before we lay down for the night, I want to go drop an apple or some part of my ration in the basket that's hanging off the back of the cart.
Okay. Sounds good.
Just say very quietly, "I'm very sorry I've been a terrible friend. But here, I'm sure you don't need it, but here you go." And then I won't wait for a response. I'll just hop off the cart and go back to the fire.
Sounds good. All right. You drop it in, and you can see that in the basket there are some food scraps that you definitely didn't put in there yourself. And you guys lay down for the night around the fire.
Oh, I want to make the tiny hut.
Oh, tiny hut. Yes.
Yes, I'm not risking it. I am making tiny hut.
Sounds good. All right. So you set up tiny hut, making it nice, climate controlled, and comfortable for everybody. You guys lay down for the night, being able to look up at the stars, and with a weight off of everybody's chest of no more unnecessary secrets, no more questions, no more hard conversations. You move forward with confidence and ready to tackle your next endeavor. But there is one word that crawls at the back of each of your minds. The name Maxwell. You all get some sleep and begin the next day ready to go.
Oh, we're rolling? Oh,
What?
shit.
Sombrero, line it up
Hi,
here!
Oh God! he's gonna hate
Everybody
that.
clap so Sombrero knows how to line up the audio. No, we're supposed to do it at the same time.
Oh.
Okay, you ready?
Oh, great.
Yeah,
That's
Okay, so
Okay. No, we're
God.
supposed to do it, guys.
okay. On three, right? We're going on three,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Shit, I'm sorry.
Son of a bitch.
This is every group project I've ever fucking done.
Oh no.
Anyway, I'm sorry, Sombrero. I hope that helps, though.
Theodore and Robert became Indiana Jones and dog Shorthound.
No, unfortunately, we weren't smart enough.
I know. I just
short round.
It was. We can say it now, though.
Sombrero. Edit it so we made the funnier joke before.
Yeah. Go back, redo the entire thing, and anytime we say short round, just replace it with Shorthound.
How?
Thank you.
He's good.
Sombrero doesn't get paid enough for this shit.
He does not. Gotta pay him more.
It is. Have y'all ever done something stupid in public?
Yes.
And you're with your parents, and you look at your mom, and the look on her face is, you know, you are going to fucking get it later.
Summer,
That's the vibe you're getting.
can I post something into shitpost from our DMs?
Yes.
There you go.
This man got immediately to the shop, resting her elbows on a tavern table, staring at holes in all three of you. Let me get this straight.
Let me get this straight. Yeah, no. I can see it clear as day in my mind's eye because holy shit. Welcome to Hema Airlines. Please keep in mind that the closest exit may be directly behind, beside, or in front of you. Please remain in the seat while the captain still has the fasten seatbelt signs on. We're cruising at a nice altitude of about 1,200 feet, and we should be arriving at our destination shortly. So thank you for flying Hema Airlines.
Please don't fall off.
This is your pilot speaking. We are cruising at the altitude of fuck-ass high. If you would please keep your hands and legs in on the dragon at all times, not inside. Please, not inside.
The dragon will kick you off.
Yes. If you fall, you are on your own. Thank you.
We don't have parachutes.
Do they have Biscoff cookies?
Yo, there better be.
The dragon ate them all.
You will not be getting any drinks or snacks.
The dragon ate them all before the flight. We apologize.
So American Airlines was at the fucking Pride Parade, right? Mm-hmm. And they were handing out the Biscoff cookies as fucking favors at the Pride Parade.
They know
no favor from me with Biscoff cookies, man.
That's fair. They're good.
They're good.
Yeah, sure.
Those fucking gnomes again.
Gnomes are gonna run the whole
Gnomes.
operation.
Do the gnomes ever fucking sleep? Seriously.
No, they don't.
I hate them.
Anyways, we ready to go?
Yeah.
Yay!
Yippee!
Yoo-haw!
Woohoo.
Sombrero, put a spinning hamster on screen again.
Thank you, Sombrero.
Thank you so
Oh god. Thank you, Sombrero.
A solar system of hamsters. Bringing it back.
Oh
Is that
god.
like trillions of hamsters?
This is like the first. I think that was literally like the first thing you asked of the editor, but that was when the editor was me for like 3 episodes. and I listened to that. I'm like, because I don't know how to do that shit.
Oh, I did.
So-
I forgot.
That's
Yeah.
We know a few things. We know he lives here. We know he's good at magic. We know
He fucks.
We know he has a summoning circle, and we know he gets it.
What if we were lovers? What if it was, you know, one of those
It's a hell of a
murder
lover's
mysteries?
quarrel if that was it.
Yeah.
Robert, are you played with the door?
I sorry, I never noticed that like there's line of sight in this.
Oh
Is that new?
yeah. Oh yeah, they've added that. Line of
Okay,
sight
sorry.
for minis, yeah.
Excuse me. I just gained like what do they call it?
The third eye is open.
Object impermanence.
Yeah, object permanence. Yeah.
Wah wah.
Oh wait, you know what I just noticed? I just noticed for some reason I have the Pokemon get up on on my PNG. That's
Oh,
funny.
time.
I don't think that was this whole time. I don't think so. If it was, that's great.
Well, this is going to be a very confusing episode for the viewers.
Yeah, this is
You're
great.
not kidding.
Sombrero, make sure that this whole time I have a little Pokeball next to me. I mean, to be honest, we had a whole episode where Jay's face was Fabio. Literally a whole episode. So honestly,
Fair.
nothing new.
You need to remember to ask
yourself a
Sombrero,
point.
like, because if you ask him, like, what is this, like 3 or 4 hours into the fucking recording,
Yeah.
that's gonna suck.
That's really funny. I don't see. I looked at it and it wasn't like that, but so I guess I must have like pressed something weird. But whatever. I'll look back at the recording when we're done and see when it pops up. But that's funny.
Congrats, Robert.
Heard it.
You got your backstory, buddy?
Hey, what
Kind
the
of.
fuck? I thought we were gonna beat a twink to. Oh, what is this?
I'm glad we didn't, because we would have had the whole ass Mages College on our ass.
Yeah.
Now instead we probably have an ally.
This is objectively better. But I was so. Listen, it was better than us having to kill a guy.
Oh
I
yeah.
wrote all this down.
Oh
These notes are
good.
very long today.
Oh, I believe
Um,
it. I took very little, so thank you.
I wrote their whole conversation. That's sad.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here like.
Good job with the voice acting, right?
Jesus, dude.
I
That was
practiced.
insane. Yeah, I believe
I knew
it.
this shit was coming, so I practiced.
Oh yeah.
Well, now I'm sad.
I know.
Yeah.
I was like, this fucker killed his friend and dropped his body in the lake, and now I'm like, oh, we did not have full context. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I was so ready to kill him. Like, oh yeah, this guy's an asshole. He stabs his friend. He tosses him in the ocean. Oh.
Oh no.
There we go.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm sure I'll hear about it.
Oh yeah, trust me.
Probably.
I think this is
Pardon me?
enough notes for that.
Theodore's having a nice fun time with Hema, just kind of like you know when like you do bongos on a dog, right?
Oh my gosh, yes.
That. Theodore's doing that with Hema.
I feel like that's going to be another session that just cuts there. No, maybe not a new blooper reel.
Yeah, I think this one's gonna
That one's
cut here.
that one's heavy as shit, man.
Yeah.
Confuse them. Do the blooper reel at the beginning.
That'd be really funny.
All right, give it up for session 33, baby.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hey.
Woo.
I can't wait till it's your guys' turn.
Emotional damage. Oh my god, don't remind me. Don't remind me, please.
Reminder: all of you get a turn.
Oh my god, no.
Yeah, no. I get the feeling. Well, because one of them is a guy in fucking red armor. The other's my brother, and I don't know if they're actually the same thing.
Oh.
I hope they're not, because that's going to be real fucking awkward for a variety of reasons.
Yeah.
Oh, Sombrero, I'm sorry that I missed the recording for that episode because, boy, I'm sure the audio on that one was much better than this one on the Discord catch than the OBS one.
Your mic was being weird on OBS.
It was
Oh
being weird.
no.
Oh no!
shit.
Oh, you fucked it now!
It should be fine.
But we're still recorded. Like the party is still recorded on OBS, right?
Yeah, everybody
Yeah.
was recorded on OBS. That had never changed.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's
Well, that's
just
good at least.
it's just a pain in the ass for everybody.
So after this session, we're going now for a DESSERT, right?
I could go for a TREAT.
What you talking about? Oh.
Texas. Yeah. Oh well. Bummer drummer, but it was 4th in July and all that shit, so I was just kind of like,
Yeah, you're right.
Some,
That was.
Sombrero, be mad.
no, don't.
Kill Gray. Activate.
Yeah.
Activate. Kill Gray. Get him.
I don't even think it's. I should check that audio to see how bad it sounds, because if it's bad, then well, disappointed. But otherwise, it should be fine.
Yeah.
Oh well. Whoopsie poopsies. Anyways,
Sombrero's in for a treat.
sorry, dude.
Treat?
No treat.
No treat.
No,
No
treat.
treat. No treat.
Why do you have to say it?
Alright, and sorry, I need to pull up one more document before we really slam into this bitch.
Slam into this bitch.
Slam.
Because
into this bitch.
I'm pulling up the notes on Robin's backstory.
Oh, can I take a peek?
No. You
So close.
son of a bitch.
I actually cannot control Tailspire without a mouse, so I will be right back.
Okay.
So I gotta go sneak and grab it.
Yeah, you grab that. Wait.
But you have to roll a sneaking check, or Jay will catch you.
No.
You can be on my audio track if you want.
Oh, and yeah, no, confuse the shit out of everybody. Hi, everybody!
Yeah.
Oh god.
What are you doing over here?
Poor people when they watch this in 2 years.
It's so bright in this room with all the torches activated. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
I'm turning mine off. Oh, mine was already off.
You can go hang out on the porch.
He
Like
can
the-
shrink down small.
Canonically,
Ooh.
we're just always holding torches.
Hemo
Oh,
looking
God.
through the window.
Kima, look.
You sneaking around.
Hema didn't get the message.
Pink Panther. Da-dum.
I think I can. Hold on, wait. I think I can make this work.
Just make her hover and look in the window. There you go. I was gonna do it, but I forgot I don't have flying powers.
Wait, I need to make her a little lower.
Perfect.
She wants to be
there she
outside
is.
anyway.
Hemo looking through the fucking little circle thing in the window. Guys, what are you doing in there?
Just like a dog wagging her tail, just like looking in.
Mm-hmm. So, DM to players, what do you guys wish to do?
I just have a question.
I have an answer.
Why does her wine look like tomato paste?
Good question.
That's not an answer.
Tailspire,
You had
what the fuck?
I have so many questions, Tailspire.
It looks
Watch, by the time this comes out, they're gonna have like a proper dining set.
Oh god, I'll
Oh.
fucking scream. They always seem to do that. Good assets come out after I'm done with them.
like the picture
The
looks like
boat.
tomato soup, but the like glasses look very exactly like tomato paste when you open a can. And I just been
really
staring at that for
yeah.
Alarming.
minutes.
He likes very Bloody Marys.
Yes, Bloody Marys are good, but
It's supposed
that's
to
a
be
little thick.
wine.
Like, wait a minute. Maybe some wild magic happened and you just accidentally turned everything into Bloody Marys.
Yeah,
That's a little too bloody.
Mm.
Coagulated Mary.
Oh
Hate
no.
that one.
Well, how else are you supposed to say it's thick?
Tomato juice can be a little
thick.
thicker.
There you go.
Some people put clamato in it or whatever.
Yeah,
like, it can be
guess, like,
thick.
you could say. I guess you could say thick Bloody Mary if you're fucking boring.
Ugh.
I'm right and nobody wants to admit it.
Just
No,
give
you're
my
not
glass
right.
to
I
Shiva.
just don't have the time to explain why you're wrong right now.
That makes me right.
That's not
Yeah.
how that works, but okay. Anyways, I love how we go from highly emotional conversation to yelling about the tomato paste wine.
Yeah. D&D.
Mm. So, bro, can you put like a can of tomato paste with like a straw in it?
Oh, gross.
no.
And a hamster drinking it.
Oh,
A
Oh,
hamster? Why? You know what? I need
It's
to
a-
quit asking questions.
It's
The ongoing
the-
lore.
Yeah, the
hamster,
hamsters.
hamster lore.
The hamster.
The hamster lore is integral to Puzzle Box, alright?
Somehow there's gonna be a hamster in this campaign that's gonna make a big difference somehow, and I'm not sure how yet.
It'll be like Robbit's companion.
It's like George Lucas talking about Jar Jar. It's like, the hamster is the key to all of this. We just gotta figure out how to make him turn.
It turns out the universe was created by hamsters.
Whoa.
Terrifying.
Terrifying.
Shut up. Keep going.
Shut your fucking mouth and speak.
While waiting for everybody to
I
get
just got
back. I made a real life crow friend. Actually, I'm pretty sure.
Yo!
This is the best day of my life.
A real life what?
I've always wanted to make a crow friend.
Yeah.
You made a real life
Oh.
crow friend.
I said a
pretty
real. I heard a real life girlfriend. I'm like,
You know, my mother said
Congrats.
the same thing too.
It's like, okay, I mean, like, there's but like real life
but real life.
girlfriend.
No, I was at work Saturday, and like just before shift change, I was looking through, like, I saw a reflection in the glass of like a bunch of crows kind of like bouncing around each other in like the road that we have on base. I'm like, oh neat, but like every fiber of my being said go watch. I was like, why? And I was just like, it was just like, do it. I'm like, okay. So trusting my gut, went over there, and then I see like these two crows kind of like jumping around and like whatever over this other one, and then I see them like starting to peck at it, and I'm like, that's a little violent. And then, no fucking joke, like as it was like mid-flight, one of them like latched onto it and got it down on the ground. One crow like stood on each of its wings, and then a third one came down and started pecking at it. I was like,
Oh,
whoa. But then like I saw two others land. I was like, oh no. So I went outside. I started like speed walking over there, and they didn't move for a bit, but I did like the government voice yell a little bit, and like most of them fucked off. And then like that one that was like on the ground, like I saw some feathers like fucking, you know, start flying everywhere, and it kind of landed nearby. And I stood there for a moment, no joke, those 5 crows were stink-eyeing me. It was the funniest thing in the world. I was like, I'm actually
They know who you are now.
Yeah, they know exactly who I am now. But I'm like, I know you too, you bastards. Because like, whenever like there's animals like doing their thing around me, like I've seen foxes chase rabbits or whatever, I'm just like, you know, I don't need death to happen around me right now. So like I'll step outside and I'm just like, no, neutral area, no.
No,
Not when I'm
today.
here.
Not
Yeah.
right here.
Yeah, I'm like,
the
not right
fox is
here.
gonna starve to death. Thank
Oh
you. Ray.
no, great, no!
Listen, not around me.
Butterfly
Neutral zone.
effect.
Neutral zone. That's all I'm saying. But like I stood out there and as if they could fucking hear me. I'm like, 5-on-1? That doesn't seem very fair to me. I don't think so. And I walked away and I go back into the booth. And I stood there for a moment and they were still watching the booth. I was like, motherfuckers. But then I thought about it and I was like, man, I should really check if that area like has any blood, because if it's an injured bird, then I actually do need to do something about it. Like, you know, I should actually kind of check. So I walk out there and like they're still like kind of in the area, but as I approach that spot, you know, the 5 of them start doing like the warning cause of like bad. But the one that was getting fucked around with made the low gravel caw, like the really low gravel one. I was like, I know what that means. And then it started doing the chittering with the beak. I'm like, oh, I know exactly what that means.
You made a friend, Gray.
I did. It actually recognized that I was friendly. I was like, oh my god. Like the guy who has like who knows as much as there can be about crows would recognize those sounds fucking anywhere. Like I've read on their behaviors and all that shit, and I'm like, I recognize that. And the little fella didn't move at all. It was just like it recognized that I wasn't gonna hurt it because I was like, no, flee, be gone, bullies. And I was gonna like try to get closer to it, but then my relief came, so I had to leave. But I'm like, I made a friend.
You not
Crows
only
and
made a
ravens
crow
are
friend.
fascinating. What? Sorry.
You not only made a crow friend, you pissed off the crow yakuza.
Good.
Yeah.
Listen,
Oops, you piss off the gang.
5-on-1 ain't fair. I don't care what fucking species you are. Nah, I'm not letting that happen. I don't give a shit.
Like, fuckers, I got a gun.
No, that shit was fucking wild. I was like, I'd never seen behavior like that from pros before, so I was like,
Yeah.
no, I'm gonna walk out there and fix this.
I wonder what stirred that then.
I have no idea. No idea. That was my Saturday morning.
Nice. Girlfriend for Gray.
Hello.
Hello there.
Hello.
Hello there.
Hello?
Hello there.
Craig?
Hi, Craig.
I forget you
Hi,
exist.
Craig.
Hi, Sombrero.
Hi,
Sombrero.
Wow.
Isn't that great?
We could not have sounded less enthusiastic if we tried, and I think some of us did try.
Yeah,
Hi, Sombrero.
Hello there.
Hi, Sombrero.
Hello there.
Double A.
Hi, Sombrero.
Hello there.
I hope your day has been good.
Or night. What time is it for you?
Sombrero, are you editing at 4 a.m.?
Again.
And called out again.
Me too, buddy. Me too.
I would probably do that if my schedule is different.
Editing at 4 a.m. isn't a choice. It's just a thing that happens, and you have to live with it.
Oh, Spider, we started
Scheduling.
recording. Would you like to say hi to Sombrero?
No.
Damn.
Okay, clap.
Oh shit! Right. Oh.
Oh God, we're all the worst. Okay,
God, we're the
great.
best.
No.
Uh-huh.
We'll take it from the top. All right, everybody.
Oh God.
3, 2, 1.
Wait, are we going on one or on go?
Okay, fuck.
Okay. On one.
On one? Okay, all of us on one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Who's counting down?
You want me to count down? Wait,
2, 1.
oh shit! I forgot. All right, hold on. From the top, all on one. All right. 15, 14, 13.
No, this isn't a
29.
raid.
12. 11.
No! 54!
10. No, that's
11's like 2 1s though.
No.
So is 2.
But 11 is 1, but twice.
So is 2.
No, 2 is 2.
2 is 1 and 1.
No.
I can't breathe and my sides hurt. No.
This is where the episode is either gonna start or it's gonna end.
Oh God, I don't know which would be worse.
Sombrero just like.
Oh, I
gives
can't breathe. Ow.
And this one is named episode Haha Pee Pee Stink. Anyway.
up. No, I named it. We need to talk.
Oh,
that's a
Lord.
good-
But I can
no.
name it AKA.
AKA haha pee-pee stick.
So we didn't.
where
We
is
never
it?
headed back to the town that's close to Dean's, right?
No, that is still
No.
shore, and we did not go back there. We figured that we probably didn't want to stick around for too long.
George Travel Map and it has the 2 trees for 1 tree special over here.
Nice.
To the west of the card, 2 trees are in the same spot. Yeah.
Magic.
Let's go.
Does it still have the floating tree? I like that one.
Does it?
Where's the floating tree?
Where is the floating
Oh my god,
tree?
hold on, wait, we gotta find the floating tree.
Did Ray fix it?
No, I don't think so,
Oh
did
shit! If he did,
Did Tailspire fix
my
it?
I?
God.
Might have.
that'd be
fix the
also
floating
really
tree.
funny.
I think, I think floating tree's gone.
No, not floating tree.
Well, you know what? At least
Pour
we
one out
have
for floating
2 for
tree.
We have 2 for 1 tree special. 2 for 1 tree for tree.
It's up with that tree.
2 for
That's
1
good,
tree.
that's good.
I am
question,
going
nobody
to
knows.
perch in the tree.
Ray, run me a one shot in this tree.
Spider, what do you think I'm doing?
Ah,
This is a one shot? Damn,
Oh,
this is taking a
Yggdrasil.
while.
Yeah, what the fuck? Who's got a scope real
It's got a
quick?
hand.
what do you mean a
Literally
one shot?
35 sessions later, like, this is a really weird one shot, man. Like, I didn't plan to do this for several years.
I had like plans.
Man, I have plans.
Dude, we've been doing this for so long. Can I go to the bathroom now?
No.
I need to eat something.
Gray, can we take 5? Please, it's been so long.
Are we there yet?
Dad, can we stop at
No.
McDonald's for ice cream?
I want ice cream.
1 black coffee. Oh, wait.
You always want ice cream.
I
Gray.
know.
Great. So long as gravity is a force in the universe, you will want ice cream.
I don't think that's what's stopping Gray. I think if gravity stopped existing, he would still go to the nearest ice cream store.
I was gonna
That
say,
is
there's-
true.
Gravity is a constant no matter what.
As long as there is some kind of gravity somewhere in the universe.
Yeah.
Gray will want ice cream.
Plus, we'd probably die without the whole gravity thing pretty quick.
No, I think Gray would just turn into a ghost and go to the store to get ice cream in that case.
He'd be cryptid and he'd be fine.
Yeah.
Ghost cream.
What? No, okay, moving on.
Ghost ice cream.
Horrifying. Anyways.
Dungeons
That
and
one wasn't for the
Dragons.
monster fuckers, I'm sorry.
The monster fuckers will find it anyways. If you guys, I'll move your minis here. And also thank you to Mr. Grimbeard, who had shown me the wonderful camera angle bullshit of
I know.
Tailspire.
So, yeah, Gray was streaming Tailspire maps and making them, and someone popped in and was like, hey, I like browsing all these Tailspire streams. And they started giving tips, and then there were tips that Gray's never used in the 750 hours he's
I
used
had
this
no
game.
idea. It's so fucking good. There's cinematic movable camera and everything. So now I just have this excellent fucking view of everything.
How?
Wait, how do you do that? 'Cause, if I zoom
F6.
in-
Yeah, F6.
Oh!
Yeah, right?
Oh, you can change the exposure.
Uh-huh.
There's so many things.
Dude, I've been
There's so
fucking
many
losing my goddamn
What
mind
the
about
fuck?
this shit. I know. Thank you, Grimbeard.
We're gonna have to redo.
Shout out to
every
Gray.
episode.
Hell?
We're gonna have to redo every
Bruh.
episode.
No.
I feel like next time Graybeard shows up, you just give him VIP.
Oh,
Bro,
absolutely.
you deserve this.
I watched his D&D stream too. I love it. It was so funny because at a certain he literally has an alert on his stream for when his kids need to go to bed, and his daughter came into the room and was like, "Dad, it's time for bed." And he's like, "I'll be right back, guys. Take 5." I'm like,
Oh my god, that's adorable.
I know.
That's so cute.
And the group seems very fun too. I was like, "Oh, you guys seem really rad." I'm really glad this guy fucking just stumbled his way into my stream. He was so helpful.